going on, everyone? And happy Father's Day. It is episode 171, recorded on Sunday, June 18th, 2023. And I'm Drew. And hey, John, it's Father's Day.
Happy
and at
Father's
school,
Day.
Yes, indeed. All of the students are supposed to make cards by drawing a picture of their father at work. The teachers asked, Logan, what does your father do? My dad's a cop. I'm going to draw him catching a bad guy. Then the teacher asked Mikey, what does your father do? Mikey says, my dad's a writer. I'm going to draw him with his new book. Teacher gets to Jade. And what does your father do, Jade? Jade says, my dad's dead. Oh my, the teacher says. What did your father do before he died? He turned blue and shit on the floor.
Drew loves nature and thinks John's a cheater. That's right, it's time for another episode of the Dads After Dark show. Take it away, boys.
What is up, everybody? On tonight's episode, we taught some golf because currently I'm watching the US Open. Is viewing sexual content with others okay? And Monthly Mayhem is wrapped and winners are announced with our live judging on tonight's episode. John, happy Father's Day. What did you do today on this beautiful day?
Happy Father's Day. I feel like we have the same topics as the Nintendo dads this week. I hope it doesn't feel too replicated there.
Hopefully not.
I had a good Father's Day.
Yeah.
I relaxed and ate. It was great. Woke up. Michelle and Cedric made French toast.
Ooh.
So that was good. I didn't have to make it. I got a third slice of French toast.
Good for you. It's okay today. I'm not going to judge you today, John.
No. I when I was a kid, I used to have 4 slices of French toast. 3 is nothing, trust me. Finished up a run of Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon that I had stopped last night.
Okay.
And won it. Beautiful.
Ooh.
So that was my 3rd victory. I'll talk more about that later.
Nice.
What else? We had we played games. All of us, the whole family, we played Among Us. We did the hide and seek stuff, which is not new, but new on Switch, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
We just learned about it. Hide and seek was pretty fun. And then we had barbecue for dinner.
Ooh, okay.
We just did Dickie's. We don't have a go-to barbecue place around here.
We don't have
Dickie's you don't have Dickie's?
No.
It's a chain, but it's pretty good.
Okay.
And if you go, you can get like an ice cream cone, but we didn't. We just picked it up. But we don't have a go-to place. I really need a go-to barbecue place. And then we played a game I will talk about later, but we had a load of fun, and it was one of those tear the family apart.
Love it.
Games.
Love it.
Fantastic. I can't wait to talk about that one later. But yeah, no, I just have a lot of gaming, and I watched the Mets lose because we stink now.
I saw some stat the other day, and I thought of you that the Mets are like just like suck lately, or they suck this year. I don't know.
We suck. No, we weren't terrible in the beginning of the year, but
last
no
month
pitching.
Or so.
We just have no pitching, no pitching, and we have $86 million a year invested in 2 guys. It's not a good situation. So,
Amy and I have actually been watching a lot of the Red Sox lately. It's one of those things.
Kicking the shit out of Yankees.
I know. It's baseball. At least for us, it's a great thing to just put on in bed and Yeah.
I love baseball. I can't get Michelle to watch it with me at all.
I will say I'm kind of into the new rules this year. It kind of makes it a little bit more faster paced and just seems like it's more happening.
Mm-hmm.
So
it cuts the time between pitches, and so many players have to take their batting gloves off and adjust them and put them back, and it's just crazy. And ironically, it's what might be killing the 2 Met pitchers because they're both much older, and I think it's too fast for them. I don't know, but I do like the rules. I mean, there's games that take 2 hours, and I don't know how I would feel if I went to a game and it was 2 hours instead of 3 hours. But if you go to a baseball game, most people are not super paying attention.
No.
I feel like maybe they should change the price of the tickets a little bit or something because the games are going much quicker. But I
won't
do like
happen.
the new rules for TV watching.
True.
It's good. How's your Father's Day?
Good. Pretty relaxing. Kids got me some plushies. I did the Wind Waker, Link and Zelda plushie. They made me tons of cool little notes, and you know how the kids are in the younger schools. They make you all these little Father Day things, but relax. I played some Zelda. I'll talk about that a little bit later. I played another new game. I'll talk about that later. And I had my dad over. I made a nice big steak tip stir fry, you know, with the veggies and stuff. Hambo, when you listen, the same meal I made for you, so you should feel special. That was so good, I decided to make it again this weekend. Yeah, pretty relaxing day.
Sounds
Not much.
good.
I didn't really leave.
I was a little surprised. There are weekend days where you'll write me and be like, John, been outside for 8 hours straight. I've had 12 beers, and I didn't get that today. You seemed pretty chill.
Yeah, I only had 2 beers or 3 beers today, and I did sat on my deck by myself,
right,
for like 20 minutes and just took a little nap in the sun. But no, I didn't go swimming. I did clean the pool today a little bit, relaxing. But yeah, no, I didn't lay outside today like I usually do.
Yeah.
But I did treat myself to some new plushies yesterday. I don't know if you saw this one. These ones are cool. I got the Wedding Mario. He's big too. He's kind of big. And I have the Peach one. So now I have both of them from Odyssey. And then I got one of the Koopalins. God, I forget his name. So now I have all except one Koopalin. I'm missing Wendy. And that's it.
Oh, I thought you were going to show me the Koopaling.
Oh, he's way over there. I'd have to get
okay. I was waiting for him to appear.
Last thing I mentioned is, because I know you like this, is I went and saw Amy Poehler.
Amy Poehler.
Well, she's from Boston. It's okay. Yeah. And Tina Fey. And we saw him in Boston. It was really cool. Right next to, it's actually like in Fenway's outfield underneath the stadium. It's kind of a cool new place.
Really?
Yeah, it's a really cool place. It's new. It's only like a year or two old. I've never been there. Really nice. Yeah, it's almost like it's at like the corner of Fenway's outfield. It's weird, but you don't go into Fenway. It's all external.
Right. It's all separate, but it's right there. That's interesting.
And I thought it was a really cool show. I didn't really know if it was just going to be like straight stand up. You know, I didn't know how good they'd be at. I mean, obviously they're some of the best comedians for women in our age, but they did a really good job with like pacing it. And they did skits. They actually brought back some like SNL skits. They did almost like some singing. They did questions. Like it was just a little like grab bag of different things, which I thought was really cool, really fun, and kind of just different than just someone standing on stage and doing like an hour skit. I think it was a lot better this way. So yeah, we had an absolute blast.
How was it? A big crowd or what kind of?
Yeah, a few thousand, definitely. Yeah, it was sold out. I don't know how many that place held, but it was a cool place. Yeah, we went out to dinner before that with the Gordon Ramsay's restaurant. Did a nice beef Wellington.
Dude.
Oh.
I was browsing TikTok this morning and came across a TikTok, and they were showing the beef Wellington from Gordon Ramsay's restaurant. They were showing how they make it and whatever. Yep. I was like, all I could think of was you. It was like, no way. Yes. The beef was $75.
I think it was $70. Mine was, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was like a $200 bill. You know, glass of wine, some cocktails, some appetizers. I think we got an appetizer. It was a crab cake. It was just one crab cake. It was like $28.
One crab cake?
Yeah.
Was it like big? What was it?
It was pretty big. It was all meat too. It was good.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Yeah, we had a time. We had a great time. The whole, we got up in Boston and just kind of went around the city and did some stuff. We were actually right near, it was kind of cool but stupid, the like Boston public library. It was like kind of right across the street from our hotel. It's like one of those things. We were just walking around the city because it was nice out. We're like, let's just walk through it. Like, how often would you ever? But it was like super cool because it was like super old. I mean, we didn't like walk through it for 15 minutes and that was it. But it was a lot of fun stuff. We don't get out much, John. So it was nice.
Right? Yeah. When it's just you and Amy, it's nice.
Yeah.
Beef Wellington. Woo.
Beef Wellington. That's it. What else for you? Anything else been going on?
No, the kids are growing up. It's crazy. Cedric starts his first job on Tuesday. He is doing he basically does trail cleanup.
That's right. You told me that. Yeah, he picks up dead animals in their shit and gets them out of the trail.
So that starts Tuesday. It's 3 days a week. And it's like really strict because it's a program that brings in like high school kids.
Yep.
And so they're really strict about like, don't mess with your phone and this and that. And he could only miss 2 days, which is weird. Wow. Like you could lose your job if you miss 2 days. So we can't really plan any trips or anything. That's why we're going to take our road trip in August. Yeah. We're doing almost the biggest summer stuff in August. And yeah, but I'm excited for him. He's excited. He doesn't seem nervous yet.
When does he start?
That is Tuesday.
Oh.
And he's got like he went to an orientation last week on it and they got sorted into teams. And there's this one kid that he remembers from his school that left his school. And he saw him and he was like, hey, whatever. And then they got sorted onto the same team. So that's really cool.
That's nice.
So he's doing that. He's continuing to grow up. He's getting beef jerky at the store and protein bars, and he watches what he eats. He's 16. He's watching what he's eating. He's working out. We were doing prep for the show, and he was on the trampoline doing his trampoline exercises. He is, and man, he used to be a little skinny kid, and now he's almost as tall as me. And like, if you pat him on the shoulder, man, like he's getting bulky.
Nice. Now this is his first job.
This is his first job. Yep. And it's a great summer job. He loves the outdoors and everything. So it's like he's not being thrown into retail or something for his first.
Yeah. No, I hear that.
But man, like as my kids get older and they start doing things, Sebastian's hanging out with his friends again tomorrow, and they've done several things on their own, which has me super nervous. I think I mentioned on the last episode that they went to, I'm not sure if I did, but they went to a rec center, him and 4 of his friends. I mean, he's 14. And when I dropped him off, I went there, I was waiting for everybody, and I realized there was no adults with them. I thought one of the kids' dad was going to be with them.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're just going by themselves. And I was like, all right. I was like, please don't make this a dumb mistake.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And like Melody's got her thing going. It's just like they're all just growing up. Melody gave me like 7 things to order on Amazon, yarn, because she's crocheting. I don't know. It's crazy.
I mean, at least yarn's kind of cheap, I'm assuming.
It is. And like she's just in her room. She doesn't want to like if we go anywhere, she's like, ugh. Like they went to go see the Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man.
I saw that yesterday myself.
And
you didn't go?
I haven't gone. They went. And Melody did not want to go because she just didn't want to go. She wanted to do. She's making blobfish, crochet blobfish.
Okay,
she just wants to stay in her room and do that. She doesn't want to go. She doesn't want to be around people. It's great. She's hilarious.
It's great.
I mean, that's how I was as a kid. Like she's like so funny and goofy and whatever. But she's just like, I don't want to deal with people. Like I just want to make my art. Leave me alone.
It's fair.
So, but it is crazy watching kids every day. It's like something else that they want to do differently that you're used to. And
it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, Zoe's 9 now, and it's just every time I look at her, I'm like, oh my God, it feels like she's a teenager already. And I can see it happens fast.
It's close.
She's into that age. Like that 9, 10 age, like you probably see it with Melody already. It's like they're no longer really a kid. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they're starting to like find their way almost. I mean, they still rely on you, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm sure your older kids now don't need you for stuff. 9, 10-year-olds, they still need you, but you're starting to see that they also want their independence and like they're starting to turn into like who they're gonna be. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. And just doing stuff on their own is really hard. But the thing with like girls is they can tend to seem older earlier. And it just depends on the situation. Like with Melody, she doesn't do her hair anymore. She does her hair the way she wants it, which is just down and all that stuff. But like, she hasn't gone like a makeup route or anything yet. But this is an age where young girls could start wearing makeup or could start, you know what I mean? Like just all those things. And she doesn't because she likes to be alone.
Yep.
But who knows? Next year, the year after that, she's going to the mall or what? I have no idea. It's
scary times.
It's scary. Let's see where Zoe ends up in a few years.
If you haven't already heard, it's Smooth Set Summer. When you're playing in the summer sun, make sure you've shaped your pubes to bum. That's right. This is the summer to keep your balls cool while you're still looking hot with Manscaped. The leaders in below the waist grooming are making sure we all have a ball this summer by giving your pant partners everything they need to stay fresh. Dive headfirst into the smooth set summer by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with our code NINDADS, NINDADS, for free shipping and 20% off, John.
Do women have a smooth sack summer? I mean, minus the
A
sack.
smooth.
Like, do you think like
vagina?
There's like a podcast? Yeah, it's like a smooth snatch summer. Like, what? Do they do that? I don't know.
There's got to be a female read. I don't know.
Waxy Wednesday.
I don't want to say that. That sounds negative. Never mind.
You didn't say anything.
I know. I did.
You were going to.
I thought it, and
now,
then I thought about
how I gotta hear it.
Well, now it's negative to our beautiful sponsor, and I don't want to say that.
No, okay, yeah. I will say I still love the beard trimmer. Still amazing.
I'll tell you what. I used it once or twice when I have a beard, and I had a beard, and it was great. But the lawnmower gets its weekly use out of me. So
it's easy for tools. It's easy. It's just like a video game, right? If you play an hour of a video game and you were asked to talk about it, you might be like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is the greatest game. I love it. It's my game of the year. Give it 5, 10, 20 hours. Then people are like, yeah, it was good at first, but it got whatever. When I first used the beard trimmer, I was like, wow, this is great. But who knows? Like after a while, I realized maybe it's not cutting as well or whatever. No, it's what a fantastic tool. And it hasn't aged. It's still great. You know what I mean? It didn't break down. I just charged it again yesterday. I think I've only charged it a couple times now.
Yeah, the charge is good. I'll tell you this. I when I went to Boston the other day, I had I just brought a small gym bag, duffel bag type size. And in one of the side pockets, it must have been there from whenever, was the Manscaped chapstick. Oh. And it was great because I needed it and I used it, and it was beyond blew away my expectations. It was actually really good. And now I took it out and I use it. My point is next time you order, it's free shipping, right? Throw a chapstick in there.
Throw a chapstick. I think the moral was put chapstick in random places. You never know when and you might. And then you'll
find them.
Did you find the chapstick and then go, oh, this is going to work out because it's cold now? Or were you like cold and your lips are chappy and you just started putting your hand in pockets?
I feel like I've been outside so much all the time that sometimes you like sunburn, and I feel like the chapstick helps your sunburn on your lips. Well, not even sunburn. It's just from the heat,
Right. Yeah, it's like a lubricant.
Sure.
For your lips.
Yeah. Well, you need to... Never mind. Never mind.
Let's get to the meat.
Today is the monthly Mayhem wrap-up. We're going to do our final judging, Drew and I. It's going to be fantastic. That is going to be later on the show. We'll announce our winners, all 4 categories, including the lotto. We're going to have a new monthly Mayhem next episode, so 2 weeks from today.
Yep.
I think it's going to be really exciting and fun. We've talked about it. So keep an eye out for that one. And before we get into the meat, a reminder, you can check our Substack at dadsafterdarkshow.substack.com. We've got new review videos, we've got articles, we've got our socials, we've got our merch store. It's everything all in one place.
Damn it, Rory. Sorry.
Excuse my partner. Damn it, Rory. And that's it. Let's jump into the meat. Again, we have an errata. Errata.
Sounds dirty.
I talked to Michelle about this. I was like, he hadn't heard of the word errata, but I was like, I don't think I've heard the word errata. Did I mispronounce it? And so I had to go to a dictionary, and I am pronouncing it correct. Errata. Sounds dirty.
It's just...
I have been told that I am mispronouncing the word Hylian.
You are.
By pronouncing it Helian.
Correct.
I don't know what it is. I like to say Helian. I understand it's Hyrule or Hyrule, however you want to say it. For some reason, when I see Hylian, I want to say Helian. You say Hylian?
I have always said Hylian.
All right. I don't think I'm not going to insist I'm right. I'm just saying that's how I pronounce it.
You're not right.
I know. And I probably spend many of my years reading the word Hylian and saying Helian in my head until games spoke. And then, like, you don't really hear the word Hylian in the video games, probably until recently, maybe the last couple. So I will try to say Hylian. I will try to fix it.
Hylian.
Errata, Drew. I made a point on the Nintendo Dads Discord channel, the Nindads podcast, that they had pronounced the names of 3 celebrities wrong on their last episode. Did you hear them refer to these celebrities that I have listed right here?
I did.
I am humble, and I have to admit that I was wrong. I apologize, Tim. Zachary Levi is the proper pronunciation of that dude's name. I have been saying Zach Levy. Where did I get that from?
The same place you did Hylian.
I swear I have heard Zach Levy, but it's Zachary Levi. Whatever. I don't know. But Jesse did mispronounce Amy Poehler. And I think he said Jason Segel. It's wait, now I can't remember the pronunciation. Jason, oh my God. Jason Segel?
Segel. It's Segel.
Yeah. Anywho, you learn something every day. Zachary Levi. I'm in shock. I'm not gonna correct any more pronunciations. I'm 2 for 4, so we're not gonna do it. All right. What do we got this week? Hyper Max sale on the eShop, up to 50% off. There's a lot of first-party Nintendo titles. Did you take advantage of any of these?
Who do you think came up with that name?
I don't know. I don't know where it
sounds weird. Like, that's not a Nintendo sale name.
Maybe one person said, let's call it a hyper sale. Someone said the max sale, and they just put both words in and called it Hyper Max. I don't know. There are some good discounts, especially on first party games and some other games as well. I think Hollow Knight was on the list.
I didn't pick anything up. I
describe it as Hyper Max though.
I did not pick up any of these sale-the games. I did pick up a game I'll talk about later, but not anything that was on sale.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I did buy a Leckhead this week. I'm going to play that at some point. Been waiting for a sale. It was like 20% or something. Just buy it. All right. Another announcement from Nintendo. The Summer of Play is coming to sites all over the country. I think 10 places. I think it already happened in Minnesota. And this was a kind of a surprise. This is like their mall tour. And I think they did this a few years ago. I think they had something different a couple years ago. But yeah, the Summer of Play, and they're going to have, all their big games on display. Tears of the Kingdom, Animal Crossing, Pokemon, Scarlet Violet. It's a big setup. Ebicel posted some pictures in Drunk Drawer. Maybe a few too many pictures in case you're planning on going. I think he had pictures of the dust on the floor of the Mall of America. For details.
I missed that. He went to this?
He happened to be in Minnesota when this got announced, and the Mall of America was happening right away. And so we went there, and he took pictures of them actually setting up.
I didn't see. I saw some pictures of him from the Lego store and stuff like that, but I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
Must have missed that day.
Yeah, I was kind of like glancing through, and I saw like one picture, which is I think something that Michelle's going to want to get a picture with. And then I was like, oh my God, I can't look at all of these. It's like the whole thing. It was like everything. So very, very complete. But if it's not coming near you, head to the Junk Drawer and look at Evicel's complete historical record of Summer of Play. So very interesting. Coming to Denver in August. We'll see about that one. We'll see. We got a whole bunch of new games. I want to talk about my last episode was Summer Game Fest, Drew.
I listened to it, John.
Yeah. Are you excited?
I listened to the whole thing, the whole shebang.
Was there any news that you didn't know that you were like, wow, I'm excited?
No. I mean, I'll be honest. You didn't even seem excited. And I don't know what your beef with Skyfall, whatever the fuck the name of that game is, but you weren't happy about it. What's the game called?
Oh, Starfield?
Skyfall. I was like,
no.
Bond movie.
No.
No, you were not happy about it.
No, I wouldn't say that. It's not my kind of game at all. I'm not going to play it, but I'm really, there has been a lot of talk online. It's very split about Starfield, how it's going to do. I'm just curious to see what impact it has with, console sales, that sort of thing. And I am, that I am fascinated with game subscription services, because I feel like what we see now with subscription services is not what they'll be in a year or two. I think they're still new and evolving and they're figuring it out. And, you saw with a game like Redfall, which had bad reviews, it's like, how many sales did they have? Or did a lot of people just play it because they had Game Pass and then just, not play it? If you buy a bad game, think about a bad game that you bought. Name a bad game that you bought, Drew. Give me one.
I don't play bad games.
Fire Emblem Engage, right? And it's a game you play and then you don't play. It kind of eats me inside when that happens. I can't stand buying a game. That's why I will hate play a game like Monster Hunter World. I still want to get back to it, even though I didn't enjoy it. But with a gaming service, you can try the game, and if you don't like it, you just put it away.
Sure.
In the old days, Drew, when Pac-Man came out on Atari, people bought Pac-Man, decided they didn't like it, and guess what? Atari still has your money. So it's very interesting to see when a game gets bad reviews, do people just be like, yeah, so I'm going to just try it anyway?
But it's interesting, right? You think about the original subscription games like World of Warcraft, right? Where you had to pay $10 or $15 a month to play that game.
Right.
You still had to buy the game for like $60 or $50.
I think, right? Yeah.
You did. Yep. And the expansion passes you had to buy. So it's interesting concept where they're giving you, imagine if World of Warcraft was free. I mean,
it might be
now. I don't know, but is it free to play too? I don't know.
No,
right?
I think you still have to pay for it.
The monthly.
But I remember back in the day, you probably too, Guild Wars. When Guild Wars came out, that game was free. No, that game you bought it, but you didn't have to pay a monthly.
There was no subscription fee, correct.
I feel like World of Warcraft should have just went free and monthly subscription, but it was new back then. That was a new thing.
I feel like that's the better concept, to be honest. But that's a different game type, right? Because you're locked. And again, I don't know, but yeah, it's the whole subscription concept is interesting. I mean, if they're constantly doing updates and like, I don't want to say seasons. I hate that fucking word too. But like,
I do too.
Like new quests and new like events, like Guild Wars used to have. I remember like all the holiday events and random like season events. And then I meant seasons like spring, fall, summer events. That's okay. Like you're constantly like, oh, this weekend, let me log on to play because it's going to be this certain event with new quests and new items you can get.
Right.
But doesn't seem like the case is going to be. I mean, when you have Xbox subscription, it's different, right? So that's not really the point. It's not that type of subscription.
No, but like when a big game comes out, Redfall was one of the big games that Xbox was pushing. It was like their big first party title. It was like Tears of the Kingdom and whatever. But when it comes out, if you want to play it, even if there's some bad reviews, but you still buy it, then they still get your money. And then you might say, I don't like it, but you've already bought it. But here, if you have Game Pass and they put out a game, doesn't have great reviews, and people say, well, I'll just try it. They try it. They don't like it. They stop playing it, whatever. But then, so you have to rely on other people buying that game. And I'm just curious, like when games go bad, like how many sales do they get? How many sales do they get? No, I don't think Starfield will have the same problem. Starfield has a better, I didn't say better pedigree because Redfall did have a good pedigree. But Starfield looks like it's going to be a bigger game, the kind of game that people who love to get into those big games like to play.
But think about this point of view, and I know you said, I think in your episode, like who's going to go buy an Xbox just for this game, and like what's the value there? But think about it from the other point of view. If I really, really wanted to, I could go buy an Xbox. I could pay my $10, $15 a month, whatever, or buy a whole year's worth of $100, whatever
it's month to month, yeah.
And I don't have to buy one software, maybe for my lifetime. For 2 years, this game is going to be updated and supported, and there's going to be so much I could do. I could literally just never buy a software and have this entire console.
Why are you saying buy a software? No, keep going.
Buy software. I buy games.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying, right? It's like it's not a terrible pitch.
No, it's I think it could get people onto Game Pass, which I think is a goal of theirs. What I was saying was, and when I say who's going to buy an Xbox, I'm not saying that in a derogatory way. I'm literally wondering who is going to buy an Xbox. I want to know what those numbers are going to be. The thing about Starfield is it's such a big and very technical, and the way they kind of showed it was this is like a game about like space simulation and shooting and this and designing ships and like this 1,000-hour experience, right? That you're going to have. That market, how do those people not already have an Xbox with Game Pass, right? That's not like a market. Think about when Nintendo puts out Tears of the Kingdom, when Nintendo puts out a new Mario game, right? You're attracting other people, maybe parents with younger kids or whatever, and they're like, oh, look at that Mario game. And I played Mario as a kid, and then they buy a Switch and they get the Mario game. Tears of the Kingdom, we heard from Kuz, there's people who are playing Tears of the Kingdom who didn't even play Breath of the Wild because Tears of the Kingdom had a much bigger advertising budget than Breath of the Wild did because of where the Switch is now versus where the Wii U was when Breath of the Wild came out. So people are seeing this game from their past and it's connecting with them and they're buying Switches to play it. A game like Starfield is so big and massive. How do those people not have Game Pass already? I feel like the Game Pass crowd is the one that wants Starfield and nobody else. Who's the fringe gamer who doesn't play that often or doesn't play games at all, who's going to be like, oh, I want to get into that? Maybe there are. I think that's just the big question. Or is it just too big and intimidating to draw in new audience? That's what I'm wondering.
But the first person, right? The average Joe that's like, oh, maybe I'll play. Like, do they have enough knowledge to know that's going to even be on Game Pass? I mean, sure, I could look it up, but like without listening to a podcast or two, which again is not the average person, I wouldn't have known that. I would have just said, oh, there's this new huge game coming out. I'm assuming it's going to be $60 or $70, and I'm going to have to buy that with, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But now you're telling, I mean, and don't get me wrong, that is an option, right? It's not like you have to have the...
You can buy it. Yeah,
you don't have to have Game Pass to play it. It's not like it is a subscription requirement. It's just pick your option, right? Yeah. So from that point of view, though, is buying the game actually cheaper if you're going to play it for a year? Maybe. If that's all you're going to play.
Maybe, but it might still be smarter to just, if you don't have Game Pass, get Game Pass for a month and play Starfield and then see if either you finish it in the month or if you want to play it more or something, then keep on Game Pass. I mean, you can decide, but it's a small investment up front. I just don't see how the person who's going to play that doesn't already have Game Pass already. You know, it's a serious game. This is not like a casual, look at this funny, goofy game. That's what I'm wondering that. So it's gonna be very interested when that game comes out to see how numbers change and what that does for subscriptions and sales and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It just feels like a very high level serious game.
Agreed. I mean, I'm not even sure how we went down that rabbit hole. Good conversation. I derailed you. All right, back to where you were.
All right, so let's digest Summer Game Fest from a Nintendo point of view. The games that we saw. The big games that we saw on the keynote, on Xbox's presentation, and then some of the other presentations. The big games that we saw for Nintendo Switch are Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, which is going to come out January 18th, 2024. Sonic Superstars, which is that new looking 2D Sonic game. That's fall 23. Just Dance 2024. That comes out October 2024. And then Fae Farm, which is a game I think we saw back on that Nintendo Direct that had a whole bunch of farming simulator games. That's coming out September 8th. Those seem to be the big Nintendo Switch titles that we know of so far. But that's really it. There's some other games, some other little indie games that are coming out for the Switch as well. This is not a comprehensive list. But those seem to be the big features. Any of those jump out at you? Are you Sonic guy? Didn't Evan play Sonic?
I remember hearing about this. I never watched the trailer. I just pulled it up. I was watching it right now. Yeah, I could see myself picking up the Sonic Superstars. I mean, I'm not in love with Sonic. I played most of the Sonic games though. I don't hate them. I'm kind of like you. I'm not in love with the gameplay mechanic
Yeah.
of Sonic, but it's fine. Prince of Persia, I don't know. That's
Prince
it
of
is what.
Persia. I'm really my two of my biggest games there were the Star Wars Outlaws game, which
Yeah.
I think was my game of the show. And Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. They did during the keynote when they announced it, they showed a little bit of it. But if you go watch the Ubisoft presentation, and more likely just search for the Lost Crown trailer, because their presentation kind of messed up some of the video. It looks really fun. Like, watch the gameplay. It looks really fun. A lot of dashing around, jumping under guys. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
So I might play that day one, which I usually don't do for games like this. I usually wait for sales, but that game looks really good. So
yeah, I'm very
excited.
We always go back to the same statement of just the size of games are just getting out of control, and that's concerning.
Mm-hmm.
Like both of us finishing up, Tears of the Kingdom. Like, would you ever want to start another game that size right now?
Yeah.
Well,
we'll talk about that later.
I guess so. Never mind then.
I mean, you're saying Prince of Persia is a big game, or
no, just in general.
Oh,
you were talking about Outlaws.
Outlaws looks like it's like that 100-hour.
That's what I'm saying.
What would you say The Witcher is? The Witcher is kind of like 60 to 160 hour.
Correct. There's a huge
depending
range
on how big you want to do.
Yep.
It looked really good though. I'm really excited. I did not expect to be excited for it. I'm not a big Star Wars guy, but I was really excited. You know what? It made me feel like The Mandalorian, right? You pick up jobs, you do them. You're kind of a scrounged. Like, I don't know. It looked really fun. And when I first saw the initial footage, it didn't look great. I was watching it on a low frame rate feed. Mm-hmm. And then when I watched the actual footage, it was like, wow, it's smooth. It looks so good. And the gameplay looks fun. It just looks like one of those third person open world games. I don't think it's going to innovate, but just the way you do go from the planet to the space and back, it's just, when you compare Starfield, No Man's Sky, and then Outlaws, they're three different games. Don't get me wrong. They're not trying to be the same thing. Starfield is like a bigger version of No Man's Sky, and Outlaws is like a Witcher type thing or whatever. But that is more attractive to me. I was really excited about that. So I'm excited for that. That and Prince of Persia. Woo-woo. Also, this past week, we got some new games for NSO. We got Mystery Tower on NES. Mm-hmm. That is a Famicom. That's never been here before. Mm-hmm. That is a Famicom game. Harvest Moon for SNES. Blaster Master Enemy Below for Game Boy Color, which I think is sort of a remake of the original Blaster Master. Kirby Tilt and Tumble for Game Boy Color. And then just announced a few days ago, Fire Emblem for the GBA. Comes out June 23rd. That is known as the Blazing Blade in Japan. Fun story about this one. This is the Fire Emblem game I went through twice, and both times I got stuck on the final boss battle because I wasn't powerful enough to win it.
Like, you had to restart? Like, you just were...
Yeah. The first time I played, I got to the final boss. I couldn't beat the final boss no matter how many times I tried. I just was not powerful enough. I was getting crushed. And I just decided I just didn't level up my guys the right way. So I played a second time and leveled them up and balanced them a little more and got the main guys stronger, because if any of the main guys die, then you lose. And my main guys were not the strongest. And I still couldn't beat the boss. So... should I try again? I don't know. But there you go. We also got some new seasons and updates. You were talking about seasons, Drew. New seasons and updates that we learned about during Summer Game Fest. Fortnite Wilds with Transformers. Overwatch 2 Season 5. I think there's some new fighters. Disney Speedstorm. Who plays that? Season 2 with Woody and...
Buzz and Bo Peep. And...
I did watch the trailer for that. Rocket League Season 11 already. More balls. Chun-Li and Guile outfits are coming to Fall Guys. They're adorable. That was adorable.
People still playing that?
Fall Guys is fun, but it's not something I want to play every day. The weirdest thing that I did not expect is Triangle Strategies getting a bonus chapter and some new game modes. I've been wanting to play that game a second time. Maybe this is my motivation to give it another playthrough. But I did not expect that at all. I thought Triangle Strategy was just sort of done. But yeah, a lot of news. There was no Nintendo Direct, so there's not this big chunk of Nintendo news.
What happened? There was supposed to be one last week, everyone said. Or is that this week?
No, I don't know. They're doing their Nintendo Live in the beginning of September, so they could do a Direct there, but I don't know.
They'll do something before that.
I think July. Yeah. I'm thinking like with Pikmin coming out.
Here's the big question. Let me ask you this, off topic. If there were to be new hardware shown at that September event,
I'll show you my hardware.
Please do. Do you think there would be like a Direct the week before to announce it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, you're saying if they're going to show hardware at like the Nintendo Live, would they announce it before?
Would you rather announce it before, like a week or two before? So then, like, you can have everything set up all ready to go. Like, you have playable booths and stuff, rather than like having to hide them for like a main stage feat. Do you know what I'm saying, though? I feel like you'd almost want to announce it before that live event.
I like the sound of announcing the new hardware and then saying, and you can preview this hardware live at Nintendo Live next week.
Next week.
Yeah, I think that's better. Yeah.
That's way better than trying to do it there, and then like you won't be able to have the right booth set up and stuff like that, because you don't want people to walk in and see it instantly if you haven't announced it yet on stage or whatever they do.
Yeah, because when they announce a Nintendo Direct, there is like a couple days of hype that go.
Correct.
And then if you made a hardware announcement, then there would be months of hype until that. I mean, then you definitely wouldn't do it the week before either. I think you do it like months before.
And then maybe you can even announce a game or two at live that's on the new hardware. If you're like a teaser trailer for the new Mario game, because
absolutely,
know it's going to be Mario, right? I mean, at
Mario
this point,
has to launch with the new system.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think that would be
with Switch.
Which technically means we could see it as early as like August, maybe a month before it or something. That's just my guess. What would happen?
I've kind of said like I don't think you're going to see hardware until after, until Tears of the Kingdom came out. That's their big system seller. Why would you announce new hardware and then have that? Now that we are starting to exit the launch day Tears of the Kingdom players,
yep,
maybe. I still think it's a ways away, but if they did a Nintendo Direct in July, I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility.
I think we're going to get a Direct in June still, and it's going to give you the date of Metroid Prime. And I think then you'll see like a hardware Direct end of August to prep for the live. That's what I think you're going to. I think you're still going to see a Direct and announce the rest of the games that are coming out this year. And then in August, you'll have just a new hardware Direct, and only that, no games or anything. Well, they might have to show off a game or two to show the actual hardware.
I still think Metroid Prime 4 seems like a match with the new Switch.
Should be.
Yeah, because, there's 20 million Switches out there. And when you put out a game, like if you're an independent developer or whatever, you want to put out a Switch game because you have this massive audience that could potentially buy your game.
Yeah.
When you go to a launch system, you have a much tiny right at the beginning. So that's why launch titles are just not a big thing right now. But I think with the number of people that buy Metroid, it's not a big market. It should be bigger, but it's not. That's the reality. So why go ahead and risk it? Put it on the new console and make it a bigger, better looking game, more attractive looking. Forget about the backwards compatibility. Just put it there, make it the best looking thing it can be. And wait, you know what? What's the risk? It doesn't sell that well anyway.
I'll tell you what, after playing Metroid Prime 1, I actually have zero interest in 4. I know that might be a bad comparison, but it's not for me.
Yeah, I was never really interested in either. I can't play it. But it would be great. I mean, put it out there for launch. I don't think if there's a new Mario game, it'll be on Switch as well. They're not going to do that with Mario. There's too much to lose there.
True.
There is no way, Like if the next game is like, Mario Planets, it is not going to be Switch 2 exclusive. It will play on Switch. It's just too big a market of people with a Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way. And plus, I mean, even if you sold 3 million Switch 2s, that's like a tenth of the audience that wants to play the game, and they're going to be pissed off. It would just be terrible.
I mean, Mario Planets. You heard it here first,
Mario
folks.
Planets.
All right. What else?
I think that's it. That's all the announcements and all the new games and
sidetracking and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
It's time to talk about what we've been playing.
The Hyrule Hangover is here.
It is.
Drew, you and I are going to talk about Tears of the Kingdom, and I think this is going to be the last time we're going to talk about this game on this show until DLC hits.
Woo.
What a month and a week it's been. This is already my favorite game of all time.
Wow.
It was the fastest seller on a Nintendo console. It was huge. It was amazing. And you rolled credits this past week.
Did I? Was that only man, it feels like it was forever ago. I'll tell you what. I'm just gonna come out and say it. I liked Breath of the Wild better. Yeah, I did.
Tell me about it.
I will say Tears of the Kingdom had a lot of, things that did, obviously they did it better. I loved the memories. I loved the cutscenes and that type of stuff. But I don't know, there was something about, you know what it is? It might have been when you think back to Breath of the Wild, it was your first time experience in this game, where, again, I've said this in the past, Tears of the Kingdom felt a lot of this, just the exploring didn't feel as fun as the first one. There was just things behind that. It just felt like I was doing it again in a new game, right? It's I don't know. Whenever you play something brand new, it's like, wow, this is awesome. And you want more of it. But it's not refreshing and new, right? I finished off all of my light routes today. I did every single light route, and I got, I'm not going to say it, you get something.
Spoiler.
You know what I'm talking about, John.
Not that big a deal.
It's not that big of a deal. I did that. I have like 120-ish shrines, 110 shrines. I mean, I'm close. I think I'm done. And by the way, I may have to retract my statement because I think I have 103 armor pieces now. I don't know if they fixed that in one of the updates.
Oh, because you said it was 100 was the max you could have.
They capped you at it. I stopped armor hunting and I found a couple along the way.
Explain to me what armor hunting is, because you're saying, I'm armor hunting. I'm going to go armor hunting. I'm Drew. What does that mean besides, I mean, like when I'm hunting for stuff in this game, I'm finding shrines, I find quests, I find caves. Are you specifically armor hunting? What are you doing?
I looked up some armor locations and I would go find them.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I legit have 103 armor pieces. I didn't just come across them all. It's
Does everyone know how much of an armor file you are? Is that just our conversations? You're an armor file.
I loved collecting the armor. I use all of it. I've upgraded a lot of it. Since the glitch has been fixed, I've kind of given up upgrading everything. But I do use a lot of the different parts that come along with it. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun because you got to explore new areas. And it would bring me into caves and stuff that I wouldn't typically go in. So,
yeah,
I liked it. I thought it was cool. Yeah,
cool.
It made you do a little side quest too that like you kind of had to go do that and stuff like that. But yeah, overall, like I said, I beat the game. I loved the depths. I thought it was a ton of fun. That's why I focused on doing all of that. What else would I want to say about it? There's something else, but I don't remember. What's your overall? I
understand what you mean when you say you like Breath of the Wild better because it was a new experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in a lot of ways, Breath of the Wild is a more isolating, quiet, peaceful experience.
Yep.
Tears of the Kingdom, it puts you under pressure a little bit quicker. The opening area is much harder.
Yep.
And then you fly down and when you fly down into Hyrule, they give you some direction, but instead of just coming out of a cave and then seeing an old man, you really do. You feel more overwhelmed. Like, okay, I can go anywhere, and I already know how big Hyrule is. So I get that, But even though this game was so much like the first game, just bigger and better in every way, there's still some moments that stick with me in this game. Number one being really just starting the game and going down into the caves and having Zelda there, which is just really cool. Like Zelda's hanging out with us.
It was cool.
Yeah, because we didn't really see Zelda in the first game until the very, very, very end. And so that was cool. And then just the beauty of the sky in the beginning. I remember just like the green and the white, that whole color combination just being gorgeous. And I was loving the challenge of the sky. I just I'll remember that experience, even though this is not the origin. And then once you fly down, I remember feeling so accomplished. And then when you fly down and then having that mechanic of you speeding down and you land on Hyrule and you're like, whoa, I can go anywhere. Like, this is nuts. I remember those things, and it's special in its own way.
I think, and maybe it was just the way I played the game, but when I think back to Breath of the Wild, right, there was really two things. I was exploring the entire world, the entire map for shrines.
Yep.
That's what I was doing. Every little nook and cranny of the map. And then I would do the 4 major areas. Like, that was it, right? I wasn't really like focused on other stuff because that was just all you really knew at the time. But with Tears of the Kingdom, I feel like I'm not exploring. Like, I know I have to go find my memories. I know where they are, right? So I'm going to go to them. I have the shrines because I can see them from the sky and I can kind of put a marker and just go to that marker. I have the depths and I'm kind of just looking for the light routes. I'm not really exploring. And maybe because we had I don't want to say cheat, but we had the little motor air bike thing that we've made. You can just fly around. So I'm not exploring. I feel like I never really truly explored in Tears of the Kingdom. I had like a destination point on the map and it was just get to that destination.
Right.
And that was the big difference for me in this game was I just was like point A to point B to point C to point D, where Breath of the Wild, I just feel like I enjoyed it more just because it was just exploring. I see a Lionel, I'm going to stop it. I'm going to fight him. Like, how many times in Tears of the Kingdom did you stop at every single like Bobobin camp thingy-majiggy and fight him? Like, no.
I very rarely fought enemies. I don't like to fight enemies in these games.
But that's my point. Like, there was no motivation where before
No, but I disagree. Like, there were so many caves that you would come across.
The caves,
there's way more quests that you come across. Like, the exploring is more rewarding in Tears of the Kingdom.
Yes, and I do like how some of the quests were pretty broad, like not telling you exactly where to go because it wanted you to. But I don't know. I just felt like I had a very more on a mission to point B, and that was it.
I think it just depends how you play, and then the fact that you do have all those hours of Breath of the Wild under your belt and what you want to do. I really do enjoy the exploring in this game a lot more. I think it's what makes it so much better than Breath of the Wild to me. I'm 140 hours in, and I still have not found the bubble gem guys. I
looked them up because I needed them for armor.
I mean, how do I not stumble across them?
It's tricky. You wouldn't.
I've been everywhere so many times. How do I not? I don't know.
It's. I mean, I bet you I might be more hours than you now. I'm up there.
I stopped playing for a while.
Yep.
And then I jumped back in yesterday, and I was just trying to like work on some of the long running quests that I had and look for new ones. And I was having a blast. And I actually did some of the really not tough, but the quests I couldn't figure out. I got the one where you had to find the 5 tablets in the ruins. Like, I just happened to do that. I didn't even know I was doing that.
Oh, yeah, yep.
And at one point, the guy in the inn in Kakariko Village gets lost, and you have to find him. And they say he's by one of the little campsites by the ruins. So I find him. He's sleeping on a tablet. I read the tablet and I go, I think that's one of the tablets in that one quest that I have no idea what to do. Then I go down to the inn where he's now waiting for me. And while I'm going, this guy is just randomly walking right past me and he's got a red circle. And I'm like, ooh, quest. And I talk to him and it's the guy you need to talk to about the tablets. I was like, oh. And so I tell him about the tablet. And then when it's done, I tell him about another tablet. And I go, ooh, I must have found another tablet. That's cool.
Yep.
3, 4, all of them. And the quest was done. I was like, no way. I didn't even know where any of these are. And it turns out I had found them already.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
It is nice that the one thing I'll say about this game is it's just so polished. Like that type of thing. It didn't make you redo the quest or anything. Like I didn't really see any major issues. And then even stuff like that, I'm like, oh wow, they even thought of that. I will say there was a few times where I was skydiving from Hyrule surface to the depths where the game almost like freezes.
If you
Like
go too fast, it
it,
slows you down to
it
load.
yeah, it struggled a little bit.
I definitely saw some times where the frame rate chugged for a short bit, but never had a problem. I mean,
no, never had a problem.
It's so well done.
It really is.
I would love to see a 60 frames. Like I feel like in the Switch 2, they might re-release these games or do something or just make a free update. I don't know. I'd love to see that. And I always say it, but Age of Calamity. I would love to see an Age of Calamity that's smooth. That would be fantastic.
I liked that game.
But some of those animations were so rough. It just took you out. I mean, not even like, oh, it's only 30 frames. I mean, it was like, it's five frames a second. I would love to see that game a little more polished. But yeah, no, Tears of the Kingdom, an all-timer for me. And I'm not done with it. I'll go back in it from time to time, but I don't think it's worth really talking about anymore.
I mean, I'll wait for the DLC and I'll be ready to go with my armor that you don't have and I have it. If you need the rubber armor, you have to go do a lightning storm event. I'll be ready to go. You won't be.
I never wear my electric armor, no matter what, ever.
I'll tell you, my favorite armor is by far the climbing armor. I wear that thing all the time.
I would like to get the other two parts of it because, like, when you wear all the swimming armor, you swim really fast.
Oh yeah, you do.
And I only have one piece of climbing armor that I found, but I don't want to look it up because, as my friend Clint said, they only come out with a Zelda game every 5 or 6 years. So maybe one day I'll stumble on it and it'll be a great moment for me. I don't want to look up the quests. I'm just I'll throw my head into a wall if I have to. All right. Let's ping pong back and forth. I've got a lot more games than you do because I wasn't really playing Zelda these last couple weeks.
Sure.
But I got 3 quick updates I'm not going to get into. But I did finish my replay of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I am so excited. I had to replay. I told you I had to replay the first game because the second game is a direct continuation, but it's been a couple years. And even though I had played through the first game when it came out, by the end, I was getting a little bored of it. And I kind of skipped the story. And then it's been a while, but I replayed it. I loved it. This is such a great game. And now I've started the second game. I'm not going to play it continuously, but I did play what is the first case of the second game. So I call it the 6th case out of 10. And it was fantastic. Great continuation. And so, yeah, someday I'll just go, let's bang out another case. And we're just going to play it like that over the next maybe 5 months or so. Really great. Splatoon 3, I'm still trying to play at least once daily. I have to get a win daily.
Really? Why?
Yeah, because it gives you a huge catalog boost. So my catalog is up to level 16 now. And I'm enjoying it. I'll sit down and I'll play through and get my win. And then most of the time I don't put it down immediately unless I'm scrunched for time. I'll just go and I'll play another turf war. I'll go and play some Salmon Run. And then I'll play it. I'm not playing it for like 5 hours at a time. I'm playing it for never more than an hour. But yeah, it's a fun time. I played with Dylan a little bit last week. And yeah, I'm really happy that I jumped back into it.
Let me know. I'd jump in. I do like Splatoon.
Yeah, it's fun. I did play the card game for the first time.
Oh, geez.
It is hidden in a back alley, and I had never found it since the game came out last year.
Go there when the menu. You don't have to actually go to these.
You can't go there from the menu. You have to go
every
through
other
back
mode
alley.
You can.
Yeah, I had to go out of my way to go find it. And it was only because Dylan said it's in an alleyway somewhere. So I just went around the map and just looked for it, and I found it. I was like, what? And the card game is okay. I think I just need to learn the rules a little better. It's probably like Gwent in The Witcher, where it's like once you get good at it, it'll be more fun. But I won my first match, and I haven't gone back. And then the last quick update was Street Fighter 6. I'm still playing that, although I went a few days without playing it. As I expected, the campaign mode, while it was addictive and intoxicating initially, is just dragging. The story is so bland and dumb. And I'm just slowly finding, I think, all the fighters from the game. Some of them can be your teachers, and then others are just you find them and that's it. I'm in a second major area of the campaign. I was shocked that there's a second major area because the whole game has been this one area. And yeah, I'm just kind of going through it. Cedric was playing through it for me for about an hour the other day. And yeah, it's, it's fun at times, but it's just a bit of a grind. A little unbalanced. Most of the fights are pretty straightforward or easy. And then you fight the tougher battles, and they are like really, really hard. And I have to use tons of my items and continues to get through them. It's not balanced to be like, make these fights a little harder so I can level up better, and then make these fights a little less hard. I mean, it's not a strategy game here. It's a fighting game. Let me have some fun. Let me just kick some asses. But yeah, my goal is still to get through the campaign mode. And then Cedric and I, from time to time, still play. We fight each other with the regular characters. I haven't gone into the hub where you can play online and, play some other people. I haven't done that yet, but that's it.
Nice.
So that's it. That's just quick updates for those games.
Sure.
Give me a game you're playing.
Yeah, quick update. I started diving into Disney Speedstorm Season 2, which, like you mentioned earlier, is Toy Story. Some unlockable characters. You need, I think, Woody. I know you need Woody, Buzz.
So if you play this game enough, you can get a Woody?
Yes, you have to. Yes, it's hard. It's hard to get a Woody, but it's doable.
Right. It really helps Jesse. If you have Buzz. If you have a Buzz.
If you have a Buzz, you get a Woody. Yeah, so Bo Peep and Jesse, the other two. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's fun. I wanted to try out the new track, the new characters, and go from there. So yeah, I played that. I'll just mention it really quick because I just started it today. Based off of Hambone's request, or not request, more of a advice, I picked up Cat Quest. And I'm having fun. It's a fun game. If you don't know Cat Quest, I don't want to say it's Zelda-ish because it's really not.
Right.
It's more. Have you played this game?
I own it. I do want to play it someday, but it's always
supposedly a very short game. I think like a few hours. It's kind of plays almost like Cult of the Lamb combat wise, but better combat. I love the combat style. I don't know how to explain it, but the enemies have this little red ring and it grows, and if it hits its maximum, it's like that's when they attack you, and you need to get out of that range, and you can see when they're going to attack. It's just so much fun. It's a hack and slash type style game. You're a cat and you're questing. I mean, just like it says, John, Cat Quest. It's loads of fun. I probably played it for an hour and a half today, and it's the puns and the graphics, it's the gameplay and the controls. I'm enjoying it.
Did the kids watch you, or did you just kind of play on your own?
Evan was watching me, and my daughter's upstairs playing with dolls or something. But yeah,
did he get a kick out of the cat puns and all that, or?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't reading it out loud and probably pushing the button faster than he was reading it. But no, some of them he saw. He thought they were funny.
Oh, okay.
Really enjoying it. I'll next week definitely have the update. I saw that Cat Quest 2 is on sale, part of that Hyper Mat sale, John. So I might just pick it up because I wanted to at least try this one first to see if I liked it.
Yeah.
And I think it's like $4 on sale, like 80% off or something crazy. So I think I'm going to pick up number 2 just so I have it since it's so cheap.
Okay. That sale, I mean, how long is that sale going?
I think I have like 7 days left or 6 days left. Yeah. Perfect. So I have
you probably finish the game before.
I think I'll probably finish in 2 more sit downs. I think it's really short. I think it's like under 5 hours.
Okay, cool. But I gotta play that someday. I'll get to it.
Yeah. That's it for me though.
All right, my big games this week are the Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon Puzzlers Pack came out. That was a free DLC for Pocket Dungeon. I loved Pocket Dungeon to death. And when that game came out, end of 2020. No, not 20. End of 2021. Yeah, that game came out end of 2021. No, it was right at the beginning of 2022. That's right, because I thought it was the year before. And I did I got the full, real, true, good ending with Mole Knight. And so the DLC came out, it added a lot of stuff, and I've been going through it, not always enjoying, not always experiencing the new DLC stuff. I feel like for the most part, I am playing the same game that I played before.
Mm-hmm.
There are some new items to unlock. I had unlocked all the items in the game. Now my store is like filled up again. So there's new items in this game, better meals, that sort of thing. And there's a hat store you can unlock. There's a whole cloud area you can unlock. The hat store is interesting. The hats are, like you play any kind of roguelike like Hades where you make the game harder on yourself.
Yep.
By, make the enemies a little tougher,
Yeah,
right?
you get more
Slay the
rewards.
Spire
Diablo,
expansions.
all that.
Hats do that. So basically you can wear a hat and that hat becomes, enemies hit a little harder or this or that or the other thing. And it adjusts the difficulty of your run. I think some of the hats actually make the game easier, but I think there's some restrictions to it. And so you can wear a hat, and then you can wear a hat on that hat and a hat on that hat, and you actually wear the hats as you play, and it shows you the difficulty level. Now, I don't know what happens when you beat the game on harder difficulties. I'm not interested in it right now. But yeah, that's kind of an interesting. You can wear like 10 hats, and he just wears it, and they just kind of like go.
Yeah.
Woo, woo, woo. They're pretty hilarious.
That's funny.
They're 20,000 coins each, but I had hundreds of thousands of coins that I couldn't spend my money on in the first game. So this is a great way to get people to spend all their unspent money. There's some new characters, and I beat the game with Puzzle Knight, who is one of the final bosses in the base game. So you play through and he's like, "Oh, you're the imposter." But yeah, I've beaten the game now with Shovel Knight, Mole Knight, and Puzzle Knight. I'm on a roll. Like I've gotten really good at this game. And doing the full true beat is, you have to just know what to do. You just look it up. Don't try to figure it out. It doesn't make any sense. But you have to get these 4 key parts and then get to the end, and then you get the true ending. I have it memorized in my head, but it's ridiculous. You have to get the key parts in very specific stages, and you have to have certain things lined up to do it. It's weird, but the game is fantastic. One of the greatest puzzle games I've ever played. It's so much fun. Today I played Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. This is a party game. Have you played this one?
No.
Okay. This is this is on the realm of like playing Jackbox. It's a really great concept. One person we played with all of it, all 5 of us here. One person is holding the switch and they have a bomb, and you have 5 minutes to defuse the bomb. The other 4 people have a manual. You can print off the manual off the website.
Yeah.
Right. Or you can just go to it on your phone. I recommend, if you have like an iPad, use the iPad. You want a bigger screen.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll explain why. But we had a blast. So the first game we played, I had the bomb, and the kids all had their phones and iPads and whatever. And you're like, all right, you tell them what you see. And it's like, so for example, you might see there is a blue button that says abort. And someone needs to tell you what to do. You don't know what to do. They have the information, but they don't see the bomb. So you have to explain what you're looking at. And, I could see this being really fun to watch for competitive teams. I got to look and see if there's like a tournament. This would be hilarious, because if you could get that manual by some miracle in your head, it would be hilarious to see people just play it solo. But it's gotta be impossible. You would think that maybe after you played a few times, you kind of have too good of a feel.
The manual? Like how many pages?
It's like a couple dozen pages.
Oh, they do that on purpose.
Yeah, it is very obtuse. So for example, there's they call them modules. So a bomb will have multiple modules, and the ones we're doing now have like 3 or 4 modules, and one of them has some wires. So I'm looking at the bomb and I'm like, all right, that's a red wire, a black wire, and then like one of my kids is like, well, how many wires are on there? And I'm like, well, 4. And then they're like, is there a yellow wire? And I'm like, no. And they're like, okay, cut the 3rd wire. Just stuff like that. After we played it for several rounds, and then we have an idea of how to deal with the wires. So by the end, we're like, red, blue, black, white. And then that's it. And the efficiency becomes that each of the modules is a separate puzzle. So we had this one challenge we lost like 4 times because we ran out of time, or you get it wrong 3 times and you blow up.
Is every bomb 5 minutes or no?
I don't know. Probably not. But right now they're 5 minutes. And we kept dying on this one. And much to my shock, Drew, Michelle was the one that figured out how to do this. And she doesn't talk during these things. When we play these games where you have to chat with each other, like Among Us or something, she's just quiet. She just doesn't do the talking thing. She figured, I mean, she knew what to do. So she gets up, she's got a bomb, and she's like, Sebastian, you're going to do the wires. Melody, you're going to do the buttons. John, you're going to do the big button. And then that gives us time to go to the manual where you need to. And then she's like, okay, she goes to Sebastian, red, blue, yellow, white. And then she goes like on to the next person. She's like, all right, it's a blue big button and it says detonate on it or something like that. And then she moves on to the next person and then she'll go back around and she's like, all right, Sebastian, what do I clip? And he's like, the third wire. Then she clips it and then you move on. And we played it about 7 times. It was a blast. We got really freaked out. There's a lot of stress going on, a lot of back and forth. At one point, Michelle said she was taking too long to describe something. And I was like, where are the circles? And she's like, I'll tell you where the circles are. And I'm like, tell me the circles. And she's like, I'm going to tell Cedric. And it was just like, there's a bomb. Like, we gotta go. It is fantastic. I think you guys would love it, but maybe your kids are too young or stressed out. I think they'd be able to figure it out. Very good, like learning, like problem solving skills and stuff like that. It is fantastic. Great party game if you have a bub over or whatever. It is a really good time. I think we're gonna play this a lot. And then real quick, the main game that I played this past week was Harmony, the Fall of Reverie. These are the Don't Nod people, Life is Strange, all that. The Kings of Storytelling. This is a game about you're a girl named Polly and your mother has gone missing. And you return to your hometown and you haven't been there in about 10 years because you didn't like your mother, Drew. And no, I'm kidding. So you come back to town and you kind of reconnect with some family and friends and you're kind of reconnecting with, what life was like back then. And you're trying to figure out where your mother was, but it's a mystery. There is some supernatural stuff going on. And she ends up in this spiritual world called Reverie. And there's these people who are, and they talked about this in trailers, it's not a spoiler. There's like bliss.
Don't worry about spoiling me.
Don't worry. Bliss and bond and power, like, kind of the emotions of humans. And like you kind of figure these things out, but it's just like any other narrative game. You make decisions and it changes in what direction the story goes. Unlike their other games that they do where you make a decision right there in game and blah, 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 blah. This game goes to this tree-like structure with nodes on it. And they tell you if you go in this direction, you'll get 2 bliss crystals, but you'll lose a power crystal. Or if you go in this direction, this will happen. And that's sort of where the game broke down for me. It got complicated. You have this thing and like you lose this crystal, but if you go and do this node, then you can do this node, which is way up here, and you have to scroll to go look at it. And at no point do I look at all these nodes. You have to click on them to see what they are. They don't just show it in the circle. And most of the time I see the different paths I can go, and they don't feel like impactful. Like if it said, if you go this way, this character dies. And if you go this way, this character dies. Then I go, what am I going to do? This is like, Nora gets mad or Jade is annoyed. And it's just like, it's not that big a deal which direction. And it is so complicated. I mean, by halfway through, I was just clicking on the first node that it would let me go to so I can see the story and get some answers. And I was very unsatisfied by the end. I had a terrible ending, by the way. You can max out your connection with any of these bliss, power, bond, all those people. I didn't even get close to maxing out with any of them because I wasn't following a consistent path through the game.
What is this, PlayStation?
It's on Switch exclusively for a couple weeks, and then it comes out to PlayStation and I think Xbox next week. I was going to wait, but the FOMO got to me and I started playing it. I will say this. When I finished playing the game, I was disappointed with it. It's easily the first Don't Nod game that I really didn't love. Looks fantastic, very pretty, great voice acting, all of that. But the way the story flowed, it was a very slow moving story. Entire chapters for talking about how you feel about something. It was really slow. But even though I didn't like it, I started a second playthrough. I kind of stopped now, but I started a second playthrough just to see if I could really start to understand the nodes. And I did. I started to understand a little better. I started going down a path where I was going with power, power, power. It didn't really change the story much. I got some different cutscenes, but I don't know. I don't know. This is probably my least favorite Don't Nod game that I've played. So I was a little disappointed by it, but whatever. I got through it. Maybe I'll try it again someday. But it's a little too slow of a story. I really can't recommend this one. So sad. But I got Shovel Knight. And you mentioned before about playing another big game. I'm starting Octopath 2 tomorrow. Let's go. Oh my God. I think Drew's about to flash me.
I'll be right back.
Oh, I think he's going to go take a shit. He's gone. While he's gone and we wait. I'm going to start Octopath 2, I think, tomorrow. I've been putting it off, but it's a big game. And looking at my backlog on Switch, the only game I have on my list of games I want to play is that. I just put a Lek Head on there. Bayonetta Origins. I still want to play Bayonetta Origins, but I need to buy a used copy, and there's not a lot on there. But that's it. I'm waiting for Shadows Over Loathing, Wargroove 2, Persona 5 Tactica.
I forgot about Wargroove 2. Do we have a date on that?
No date yet. But I just mentioned Persona 5 Tactica, which I think was... I think that might have been the top game for me from Summer Game Fest. I'm very excited. And that is confirmed coming to Switch. There's talks about it coming to Switch. I guess Play Asia had a listing for it, but they haven't formally announced it's coming to Switch. That's why a lot of people think that announcement is being held off for a Nintendo Direct that's coming. So that would be exciting.
I predict in June.
I agree with you, actually. I think it will be late June. Maybe we'll hear this week, right? We have Mondays or Tuesdays usually when we hear.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to our not yet named segment that I will continue to call What Do You Think? Drew, happy Father's Day. I got a game for you.
Okay.
We are going to play a little game called Guess That Gaming Dad.
Ooh.
Now, if you are listening, and I hope you are, and if you aren't listening, you're not hearing me say this, play along. I have 8 gaming dads. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to give you 4 clues for each one. I'm going to give you a clue. You get a guess.
Okay.
You have to try to guess in as few clues as possible. I'm going to count up the points. You get 1 point for every clue you hear. Okay? And it's golf. The lower the score, the better. So the maximum score is 32 points. That's a bad score. That means you got every clue.
Okay.
Maybe I'll take off 1 if you get it right. How about that? Okay, if you guess the dad,
I'm sure. I'm not really sure I understand the game yet, but let's go.
The points don't matter. It's all about the fun.
Okay.
Let's get this started.
Great.
This is our first gaming dad. We have 8. First gaming dad. First clue. Not a biological father. He spent much of his life training his daughter to be strong like him. I'll let you take a guess. You get 1 guess.
What was the first? Not a biological...
Not a biological father. He spent much of his life training his daughter to be strong.
You know that I suck at these types of things.
The clues get more and more obvious as we go. The first clue is always going to be the most...
I just make a random guess.
Make a guess. You don't get
Princess Zelda.
No, that's not even a dude. All right.
Oh, wait, I didn't name the dad.
Yes. Second clue. Second clue. His mutation makes him unable to have his own children.
Oh my God, this is a game? His mutation?
I guarantee you there's people that are screaming the name out right now.
I don't know. I'm terrible at trivia. Never mind this shit on the spot. His mutation, Splinter.
Nope. Guess number 3. He went on a great adventure that started with him sniffing around for lilac and gooseberries.
Gooseberries. What is that from? I'm that bad at this, John. Next clue.
Ciri grew up to take on her father's mantle.
Ciri. Geralt.
Geralt, he got it. Very good. I was like, if you don't get it. All right. Geralt it is from The Witcher. Do you feel like you missed the lilac and gooseberries? Remember that's the first.
It's been a while since I've played the game.
Yennefer smells like lilac and gooseberries. All right, second one, ready? A royal figure in a vast but fallen kingdom.
A royal figure. I mean, I gotta go with King of Hyrule. King what's it? Daphne? What's his name? Say it again.
That's not going to help you. A royal figure in a vast but fallen kingdom.
So you're saying it is the King of Hyrule? Oh. So you're saying Ganondorf's not a dad? King of Hyrule?
I'm going to give it to you. You know who it is. You didn't get the name right.
Well, there's many different Kings of Hyrule. There's more that depends on the game. I mean, I'm assuming you're talking Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild.
I'm talking Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild.
I forget his freaking name. I'm thinking
I'm gonna give it to you. It's King Roam.
Okay. Yeah, there's different king names for different Zelda games.
Yeah. But this one's King Roam, and I figure if I give you all the clues, it's not gonna help.
It won't help.
I'll give you the rest of the clues for anybody at home.
Sure.
He has cosplayed as a common old man, much to one hero's confusion and chagrin. He once commanded a hero to save his daughter after recounting the events of 100 years ago. His daughter is Zelda. All right. Dad number 3. Both a father by birth and by happenstance.
Father by birth. That's some deep Inception shit right there, John. A father by birth. What was the second clue?
And by happenstance.
I'm going to have to go to the next clue on this one.
Mourned the death of his daughter for 25 years while learning to craft nail bombs and Molotov cocktails to survive.
Last of Us? What's his name? Joel?
Joel. Very good.
Wow.
Got it. Next clue was going to be has a rebel brother named Tommy. And last clue is he will protect Ellie until the end. Okay, you've gotten all 3. You missed one name, but I gave it to you. So you're 3 for 3.
I'm impressed.
Next one. His story begins with a disaster at his own wedding when something terrible befalls a wedding cake.
Is this something to do with the Red Wedding? Is this a video game?
No.
Say it again.
His story begins with a disaster at his own wedding when something terrible befalls a wedding cake.
Bowser?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Father of 2 kids who see nothing at all unusual about him.
Two kids. That's clue.
This clue is a continuation of that last sentence, which was father of 2 kids who see nothing at all unusual about him, despite having 8 arms and legs.
8 arms and 8 legs?
Combined 8 arms and legs.
So it's a spider, is what you're saying. Who the fuck's a spider with 2 kids? Am I off topic here?
That could
am
be
I
the
off?
title of our show.
Say that one more time.
Father of 2 kids who see nothing at all unusual about him, despite having 8 arms and legs.
That's clue.
He's an octopus.
An octopus. Who the fuck's an octopus? Am I just drawing a blank here? Should this be obvious?
I don't know if you've played it.
Well, then that doesn't fucking help me. I don't know.
The answer is Octodad. Octodad. You ever play Octodad?
No, is that the name of the game?
Let me tell you, you and your family would absolutely love this game.
Wait, the name of the game is Octodad?
I wouldn't be shocked if you did play this game and just forgot about it. Your family would love this game. You can all play together. You all control a limb. It's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. Octodad. All right. You're 3 for 4. Next one.
How many are there?
There's 8. I've said this a number of times.
This game looks stupid, by the way.
It's so good. All right. First clue. Not the best father. He spent much of his time away from his family because he felt he was a horrible and dangerous person.
I feel like I'm on to something here, but let's move on. Next clue.
His son is Atreus, his wife Faye.
Atreus? I don't know. Faye, the only Faye I know, isn't that the name of the chick from the sword? Star Wars sword?
Hey, there's no Googling.
I'm not Googling. I'm still. All right, what else?
He was once a captain of the Spartan army. Not looking good.
He was once the Achilles?
Last clue. He hates Zeus as well as Ares, the proclaimed god of war.
What's his fucking name? I don't know the name. What's it? I don't even know his name. I know
this was going to be the hardest one for you, I thought.
Yeah. I don't know.
It is Kratos.
Kratos. See, I'm so bad with that shit.
See, you're learning. And we're all learning together.
You ask me these same exact questions next episode, I'll get the same answers.
Okay. All right, next one. His old rabbit friend made sure that his son knew everything he needed to be a successful leader.
Winnie the Pooh.
No. That could be the worst guess I've heard in my life. A legendary flying ace. Upon his death, he was succeeded by his son in the cockpit.
Wait, so he's dead?
A legendary flying ace. Upon his death, he was succeeded by his son in the cockpit.
Next clue.
This next clue is an audio clue. You ready?
Oh my God. Okay.
Damn it.
Drew's face. I'll play it one more time.
Star Fox, are we going?
Damn it.
You're getting close. You're very close.
What's the fraud's name?
That's not a clue.
What's the fraud?
Damn it.
I never played a Star Fox game either, so if it's from Star Fox,
with you?
I don't. Is it from Star Fox?
The last clue is he was the leader of Star Fox.
I never played a Star Fox game. I don't know any of their names.
Wow, you're really outing yourself like that.
No shame.
James McCloud.
I did know that. Actually, I didn't know his name was James. I knew McCloud.
Yeah, because his son is Fox McCloud.
Correct.
I don't think you ever play as James unless there's some game or cutscene or whatever. I've never seen. I'm not huge on that.
Did you play James in Submergence?
Yes, I think so. I forgot about that one. That was a really good entry in the series. All right. We're up to number 7. You're 3 for 6. Your batting average is 500 now.
That's great in the MLB.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. All right. He's a decorated engineer and inventor.
Decorated?
Oh.
What does that even mean?
He's decorated. It's accomplished.
What's the guy with the fucker from Tears of the Kingdom? What's his?
Whatever. You mean Robbie?
Yeah, Robbie. Not him. That's true.
No. Okay. His children were not born per se.
Huh. Maybe they were hatched. You might want to say. Yoshi.
Nope. He improved on one of his original creations with an X version.
With an X version. He improved on one of his creations with an ETS version. This from Metroid? Next clue.
His children are quite the Mega Men.
Is this just Mega Man? Does he have children? Or is it the father of Mega Man?
The father of Mega Man.
I didn't even know he had a fucking... I mean, everyone has a dad, but I didn't know in the lore of Mega Man, he had... I don't fucking know the name. What?
I will give
Superman.
I will give this one to you if you can get a little bit closer. You can't say the father of Mega Man, though.
Superman. Nope. I could just name something man all day. I should just I should go on.
Still not going to work. It's Dr. Light. Dr. Light. Yes.
I could have been here for the rest of my lifetime and I wouldn't have gotten that.
The rest of your lifetime, and I go, yeah, sorry, none of those misters worked. It's a doctor.
Yeah.
All right, last one. He's a father with very many points.
Bowser.
You got it. Nailed it.
Done.
Boom.
Game, set, match.
You know what's funny is that I did that one with my family earlier.
Yeah.
And I think I said something like he has like he's got sharp points. I don't know, something. And they all said Bowser. And I was like, that's too easy. So I made it a little easier and you still got it. The other clues were he's been caught on multiple occasions of kidnapping. It's not clear who his child's mother is, but it's presumably not a princess. And the fourth clue was... Peaches, 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 peaches. Oh, yeah. In which you could have just played dumb and go, I still don't know.
Zoe actually has memorized the whole song. Now she just goes around the house singing every word. Not just the peaches part, like all the other words.
Does it end when the piano crunches? Or is there a version that goes all the way?
There's a version that's a little bit more, but not
I see.
Fully. I think, a little bit more.
It's a song without an end.
Yeah.
You got 4 out of 8. And you got the 2 of them you got on the first guess, and 1 on the second guess, and 1 on the fourth guess. I'm not going to do the points.
Not bad,
I'd say that I'm most disappointed I was with Geralt. I'm surprised it took you.
That's messed up. I agree.
But the most proud I am is Joel. You did nail Joel.
I did.
Second try.
And you're probably shocked I knew his name. I mean, the odds is I had to go deep in my brain for that one, John.
I was going to give it to you, and you gave me Joel, and I was like, all right, perfect. Don't even have to think about it. All right. Happy Father's Day, everybody.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you for that.
A favorite dad. It was weird. I had to look up that Bowser, that they don't know Bowser Jr.'s mom.
Yeah, it's just
the
undefined.
Lore.
Maybe in Dennis Mario
weird.
They can give us some lore on that.
I don't know. Get some more. Drew, what do you think of the PGA LIV deal? And I put in parentheses in the doc, and don't say it is what it is.
It's not is what it is. So let me give you the small spiel of what happens, right? Everyone knows that this live golf thing started. By the way, live stands for 54. It's the Roman numerals of 54. That's what it is. It's 54 holes of golf that they play. So here's what happened. There's this new organization called PIF, P-I-F. I forget what it stands for. This is like the corporate overview of the lower level golf. So under PIF, there's now the PGA Tour, which we all know, whether you're a golf fan or not. There's the Live Tour, which is this new tour that's backed by Saudi Arabia that a lot of people don't like because if you remember correctly, what was that journalist name that got pretty much murdered on live video?
Khashoggi. Yeah.
That was like the same people that are backed in the Live Tour. So a lot of guys are saying if you go to the Live Tour, you support, these people that did this. Sure, whatever you want to believe, I'm not getting into that. And then there's a third organization called the DP Tour, which is not deep penetration. It actually is.
I gotta watch this.
It's actually the European Golf Tour. I don't know what the DP stands for, but
I do.
So there's these 3
double putt
tours under the PIF. Nobody knows what this means for how it works.
Is PIF new, or is that's been around?
I think it's newer. I think it's the new overhead corporate thing.
Okay, all right.
Because PGA is actually nonprofit, which is whatever that means.
Sure,
right? Sure.
Yeah.
So what this means is we don't know yet, right? This could just mean like an NFC versus AFC versus something else. Like it could just be a divisional thing, and maybe they have like a championship. The problem is that the world rankings aren't recognized in these other tours, only in the PGA Tour. So guys started getting mad when they said, "Well, I want to, I'm one of the best golfers in the world, but I'm not being recognized as the best golfer in the world because I'm not in the PGA Tour." Well, shame on you for taking $500 million and leaving. That's your fault. But they want to play in the PGA Tour events. But PGA Tour says, no, you screwed us. So what happened was there was like 7 or 8 guys that said, we're going to sue the PGA Tour. Right? We're going to sue you for not letting us play on your tour and being considered in the world's rankings.
Wait, so these people took these huge payouts from Saudi Arabia,
hundreds of millions of dollars,
sued the PGA, even though the PGA said if you join them, you can't play here.
They told them up front. They had contracts. They violated their contracts. They sued them anyway. So
massive balls, massive, huge.
And Phil Mickelson's one of those big, massive balls, right? A lot of other people. So what happened is they're suing these people. Their lawsuits are out there, and then out of nowhere, PGA Tour comes out and says we're joining forces with Live Golf and the DP World Tour. Yeah. So this was like, where'd this come from? Like it's just out of nowhere. Why is this a big deal, or what is it? Here's what I think happened. I think a few things could have happened. I think the PGA Tour realized they were not going to win these lawsuits. They knew that their contracts couldn't hold tight in court of preventing these players from playing on their tour. I think that's one option, is that they knew they were going to lose. So rather than just losing and stretching it out, they just made a deal to make them kind of look like a little bit better or losing all this money. I think that's one thing that could have happened. I really don't know what else could have caused them to like cave, because they were so for the last 12 months, like fuck you, and the players were F you, and it was just this big thing like against each other. The reasons why I don't know what's going to happen is because Live Golf is formatted very differently. It's a team event. There's 48 players, and that's pretty much it. So it's if Dustin Johnson, who's on the Live Tour, says I want to play in this PGA Tour event, and they have to let him, it's not like Rory McIlroy can say I want to play in a Live Tour event next weekend, because there's no room for him. It's already structured. So it's going to get complicated on how that works. And that's why I'm thinking maybe they just keep everything like divisionals, and they have some type of championship from each organization at the end of the year, like the FedEx Cup. I don't know.
Right.
It's a very big deal. This is something that's never happened in golf. Really, in any sport, right? Imagine if the MLB tomorrow just split in half, or it's complicated, right? You can say, well, there's other leagues like the Dominican League and stuff like that, but this is within the United States, a professional sport, right? What if the NFL just said the NFL now has 2 NFLs?
Well, they did, right? Like with the AFL,
did, the American
the NFL,
yeah,
happened in basketball too, ABA, NBA.
Yep.
But those were 2 American leagues.
Correct.
Like, so it's different, but it's the same, but it's different.
Mm-hmm.
My first reaction when I saw this news was I wanted to like go vomit in my toilet.
Yeah.
Because it was like, if this were to happen to baseball, if I woke up to that announcement in baseball, which will never happen because baseball is not a Middle Eastern sport, last I checked, I wouldn't be able to watch it again. We'd be like, goodbye, Mets, I'm done.
Well, I think that's the beauty of it, right? The PGA stood so strong, and like I could, for one, as a huge golf fan, to say, no, I agree. F you, Live. I don't want any of the players that join there. I'm mad at you. I'm not rooting for you anymore. I don't want like your merchandise. I'm a PGA guy. Like, that's what I'm going to continue watching. That's what I'm going to continue rooting for and supporting. And now all of a sudden the PGA Tour says, well, we're going to welcome them in. And like, what does that mean to me now? And what does that mean to people like Rory McIlroy, who's been backing up this and talking out loud and putting his reputation on the line for the last 2 years? And now all of a sudden they just said, well, pretty much told Rory to go F yourself.
Yeah, what are those contracts that Mickelson and all them signed? Rory McIlroy instantly became my favorite golfer the day after, when they said how pissed he was and whatever. But like, so wait, how would they're in the same league, but they've got these huge contracts. Phil Mickelson. I guess Tiger Woods didn't sign, right? So that's good. But
supposedly, there's rumored Tiger Woods got offered $1 billion, and he said
that
no.
Seems like It could be possible, but it's also some random person made up. But like, good for him if he said no. I hope he did.
Well, there was people that got like 500 million. So like, if Tigers is that
it makes
good,
no sense. Who got 500 million?
I think
Mickelson?
DJ did.
Dustin Johnson?
Like, maybe it was 300.
How are you going to get a return of investment on Dustin freaking Johnson? Like, yeah, he's a good golfer, but like, who the fuck cares about Dustin Johnson?
I don't disagree.
He may be the biggest golf nerds, but like, he doesn't have. If you go around to like the houses in my neighborhood and say, "Do you know who Dustin Johnson is?"
Okay, I'm sorry. Dustin Johnson got 1.2. I'm sorry, 125 million.
That's like crazy for like how many years?
4 years.
God.
So the funny part is that the contracts they wrote, like 4-year contract. If you break that contract for 125 million, not only do you not get it, you have to pay like 500 million. That they wrote a contract that you have to pay like 5 times what your signing bonus was.
How do they break? How would you break it though?
If you don't play in their events and say I'm going back to the PGA Tour.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, then they use a bone saw on you.
Phil Mickelson got $200 million to sign.
That's such bullshit. He's like an over the hill golfer. Like but I mean, like they obviously they have all of this money to throw around. It's like blood and oil money, and they're basically going to buy. And like the way I saw it too was the PGA was like, we can't compete with this money. They're going to destroy us. So we just have nothing but to bend the knee. So we'll see. We don't know what's going to happen, but they knew they're going to piss off all their golfers, and they still did it. So I feel like there was like something forced there.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily I'm not a golf fan, so I don't have to worry about it, but it did make me ill. And I'm like, man, if this happened to football, oh God, it would just be gruesome. What else do they play?
The last thing I'll mention is there's a league that's coming out called the TGL Golf League. And this is something everyone's going to look forward to. If you Google it, John, there's a website, tglgolf.com. It's backed by Tiger Woods and Rory. It's an indoor live event. There's seating. Like, think about if you went to like an indoor sporting event and it's going to be televised, and it's like there's like this indoor putting green, there's a huge screen, you hit into it, and it's like teams, and it's like at night, like you could do like a 9:00 event. It's supposed to be really cool. I'm really into this. This is going to be awesome.
Is that like the game where you hit a ball into a screen and then it projects where it would go?
Yeah. So think of like all you see like on TV, like the crazy, just it's going to be awesome. It's you just go sit in the stadium and you can watch it, but it's all professional golfers. Okay. And they partnered with the PGA Tour to like fit their schedules and stuff. I'll send you a picture so you can see what it looks like. But it looks that's gonna be a 2GL golf. Keep an eye out for that one because that's gonna be cool.
Okay. You want to talk about this Twisted Metal show?
Yeah, so there was the Twisted Metal movie clip. I don't know if you guys saw that. It was, I don't know all their names. I used to play this game back in the day. It was the clown, scary looking clown guy, which I thought was interesting because how do you feel, John, about when there's an actor with a mask, let's Mandalorian, right? But a different voice, because Will Arnett voices the character.
That's what I was going to say, because he introduced the clip, but I didn't really recognize him in
But it's not him. I mean,
he's not acting.
It's a fat actor with a mask on.
And that's what Mandalorian became, right?
Correct. Pedro
was voicing
doesn't even go to the set anymore.
I can't say for a show that's like that from the beginning I really care. As long as it's up front. I felt a little cheated in Mandalorian season 3 when I found out that Pedro Pascal wasn't in the suit. I don't see him.
He doesn't even show up on set. He just literally records from his house.
Yeah, and I don't know. Because he was in the suit the first season and I think the second season.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Or Boba Fett.
I don't know. I just I thought I was watching Pedro Pascal. Yeah, I don't see his face, but I think I'm watching his acting, and I felt a little cheated by that.
I do.
But if this is the gig, I mean, Will Arnett is not going to put on 150 pounds for a role.
Mm-hmm.
So fine, he's voicing it. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm intrigued. This is not a movie. This is a TV show, I believe.
I couldn't be less interested. I'd rather play Starfield.
So here's the thing. If this show was called something not Twisted Metal, would anybody care?
well, I don't care that it is Twisted Metal, but I'm sure I never played the Twisted Metal games. As far as I know, they're just car games, but this clown is tied into, I've
So
seen.
all the characters, if I remember correctly, did have some diverse story in the game. And I think each one you did play a story mode.
Okay.
And it gave a little bit of the history of each character.
Yeah.
This was, I forget all the details, but I think the clown character was a guy that drove like a beaten down ice cream truck, and I think he was like a murderer or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember. And then
He's
the
the
other
de facto character that people who don't play the game
remember
recognize.
that, because that was like the big truck was on the cover of the game, right?
Yep.
I thought it was interesting. I find it always interesting when they release like a move or a show clip rather than like a trailer.
Yeah,
Just
as long as they show the right clip.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I've never played the games. I've been on record as saying there are too many show and movie adaptations for video games, and this is one of them. I don't think this one is being done by Sony. I'm not sure, but between this and Gran Turismo, I could give a rip about either of those, and I think they're both a stretch.
So it's funny when we went and saw Across the Spider-Verse yesterday. Gran Turismo was one of the trailers that came on.
Mm-hmm.
And afterwards, Amy goes, "Oh, that movie looked kind of good." And I was shocked.
Really?
I was like, "Wow, really?" But
I think it's based on a story about someone who was really good at Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
And then became an F1 racer. That's what I gleaned.
That's what the movie's about. Yeah, that's what I saw from the trailer.
And that is an interesting story. But the fact that they're pitching it like almost like as it's a game tie-in.
I don't think it is. I think
I know, but it's called Gran Turismo. So they're trying to really tie it into, PlayStation fans and racing fans.
Well, of course.
And I think it's a good story, but I think because they're pulling so like what if they made a game about someone who played a lot of Zelda and then became an adventurer and they called it Tears of the Kingdom? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you're trying to really pull me in because I enjoyed the game, but it's really just a movie about some guy.
Sure, but I don't know the content of how true whatever story was, but in the trailer, it's just this kid who the dad says stop playing video games, and he keeps playing and keeps playing, and he enters this tournament, and the tournament is the winner is going to enter a true like F1 race. But like they have to train him. It's what's his name from Stranger Things, the cop. That's the main guy, and then Orlando Bloom's in it. Yeah, and Orlando Bloom's the other guy. Like they well, they're not athletes. Like,
wait, Orlando Bloom is in this movie?
Yes, I don't know what the hell
that's why Amy was interested in this.
He to tell you what, it didn't look great.
They figured that one out.
He did not look great, but yeah, I don't know.
It could be a good movie.
It might be.
As in terms of like video game tie-in, it's like, come on.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. All right, I got a question for you.
Sure.
There's a new show out called The Idol, and I'm interested in it for one reason: that Jennie from Blackpink is in it. But I have a question for you.
Sure.
Are you comfortable with shows that have a lot of gratuitous sex, nudity, dirty talk, or do you have a limit? So I'm talking about shows like The Idol, but you might think Euphoria, Sex in the City, shows like that are they're talking about all that all the time.
Sure.
And would you watch those shows with Amy? And then I ask, do you watch The Witcher with Amy? The Witcher? Do you watch The Witcher with Amy? No, The Witcher is not that extreme, but there are some episodes.
Sure. Yeah, no problem with any of this. All for it. Go for it. And yes, I'll watch it with Amy.
No, do you watch The Witcher with Amy or no?
Yeah. Amy watched Euphoria while I played Switch on the couch.
Okay. So Michelle watches Euphoria. I don't watch it. I've never seen it. She watches it on her own. I want to see The Idol just to see Jennie, but like watching the trailer was so uncomfortable.
I don't know what this is. Is this this new show everyone's talking about?
Yeah, it is. I like a movie with nudity. I like a show with nudity, but I don't really watch it. I didn't watch why am I blanking on this?
I don't know.
Why am I blanking? It's way too late in the day, and it's been a long day for me.
It has been a long day.
Game of Thrones, my God. I did not watch Game of Thrones with Michelle. She wasn't interested in it.
I watched that with Amy. Second time through.
But like, yeah, watching, I mean, just there's, especially in the first couple seasons, just so much nudity and whatever. I was just curious, like, you know, is that your secret thing or whatever? But yeah, you should watch The Idol. I don't know.
Did you watch it yet?
No,
I'm watching the trailer right
you know
now.
who's in it? It's The Weeknd.
Correct.
And what's her face's kid? Forgot.
You're a mess. Let's move on to the next question.
I honestly, well, because I don't really, it's not somebody I care about, but it is, let me look it up real quick. It is, it's someone's kid. It is, it's Johnny Depp's kid, Lily Rose Depp.
Oh, yeah.
Is in it. So, and if you look at the credits, like Jenny is like in the 4th row down. She's probably not in it very much.
Yeah.
But like, there's like Hank Azaria's in it. There's some people, Daniel Levy's in it. So,
I don't really get it. Yeah. What is it? What is it about?
It's just about someone wanting to be a big star and, you know, in the music industry.
I mean, it looks terrible. I'm not going to lie. But if there's boobs in it, I'm all in.
I know. Yeah, probably.
All right. What's next?
All right. What do you think we're going to see after Pikmin 4 in 2023?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Well, no.
We're going to get some shitty game from Camelot?
We didn't even get our normal sports game this year, unless they're dropping a direct net suite with like a July Mario baseball, which would blow our minds. But like you always did a summer sports game, and we didn't even get one.
I think we're going to get a direct in a week or two.
You didn't just casually drop like a brand new first party game this summer that we don't know about?
Oh, maybe not this summer, but I think we could still get a game. I don't think we're going to get baseball because I figure if they're going to release baseball, they're going to do it early in the baseball season, and we're just about to get halfway through this shitty Met season.
Well, what else is there for Mario sports?
Mario basketball?
Football?
You know,
would
basketball
be cool,
always starts
right?
pretty quickly.
Football, September? Oh.
Mario football would be fucking amazing.
With like a September release date?
Yeah, because like I haven't played Madden, but they don't have a license. But with Mario, you don't need a license. Even just Goomba.
That would Mutant League Football.
Yeah. I bought Mutant League Football. I still haven't even opened it.
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna play I think this year. I'm gonna try to do like one or a couple of games during football Sunday while I'm watching.
Mutant League Football?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to play Mario.
I want Mario football.
All right. I want to make that a question for next episode.
Yeah,
I don't want to do it now. But what else do you think? You say, is there anything you think we're going to see?
I honestly, unless there's some third party, I'm not third party, like a grade C Nintendo game or like a remake from Wii U or something. That's it. They're not going to waste any new ideas on the Switch. I really don't think they will.
Yeah, but I think the leading contender that's going to get a game is going to be Donkey Kong. I think there's going to be another Donkey Kong game. I can see us getting a sports game. Like I said, if they do like a basketball, like a hoops one before the beginning of the next basketball season, maybe. I'm not going to bet on that. But I think we're going to get Donkey Country because we haven't gotten one in a long time. They're great games. And I think it's one that needs, put it on the Switch. It doesn't need to be the new system or anything like that. Let me
ask you this. If the timeline is true of what we predicted earlier, with hardware being announced this summer / September, would it come out for Christmas or no chance? Like March, April timeframe?
Well,
if that's the case, they do need a November game, which could be Metroid, but I don't think Metroid is a November big enough game for the holidays. They need a holiday game.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be Pokemon, but Pokemon might put out something.
But Nintendo needs one. They need their own.
I know.
What would it be?
If they did a direct this week or next and they announced a Switch 2, and the Switch 2 was basically just a Switch, kind of like the OLED. It's just a Switch a little bit more improved.
Which is fine.
Different interface or whatever. But basically you can play all the Switch games on it. Nothing really changes. I think they can put that out for the holiday, like a Switch Pro.
You're right.
If it's a new system that, I still think would be backwards compatible, but has new things on it, whatever. I just don't see that as being announced in June and coming out.
I think that's announced
holiday.
In August, shown in September, comes out in March, April.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
But then I think we would get a Mario announcement this
year.
No
way there's another Mario game unless it's a remake.
Well, I think the next Mario game will launch on Switch and Switch 2 at the same time.
But that's not until spring. Unless, like you said, it's just a Pro and it's coming out
unless
this
it's a
summer.
Switch Pro. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we're seeing much. Give me Punch Out.
But we gotta, like a Punch Out. I think you'll get some other series, a Punch Out, a Star Fox, a Donkey Kong, or something like that. You're
Mario
not gonna
Sports. I agree.
Obviously, not getting a Zelda.
I wouldn't even.
You could get a holiday Wind Waker or something with like new stuff in it or whatever, but
or 2D Zelda, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. They got to give it some distance from Tears of the Kingdom, but yeah, I'd love like a remake or something like that of the original Zelda.
I agree. There's got to be something in that tier of games. It's not like they're big games, but there's got to be a tier. There's got to be something that comes out between now and November.
It's gonna be something. And I think it's more exciting that we don't know.
Agreed.
It really is. All right, Drew.
Yes.
Gollum, Return to Moria, Avatar. When the fuck are you gonna get a Luna or some other console to play this backlog of amazing Game of the Year contenders?
All Game of the Year. Well, first of all, Gollum, not on the Luna. Return of the Moria, not on the Luna.
Is that really not? Return to Moria is not going to be on Luna?
It might be. It's not yet. I don't know.
Oh, no, it's not. The game isn't out yet, but I'll look that up.
Return to Moria was maybe going to come to the Switch originally. So, I mean, Gollum definitely was going to come to the Switch.
I'm going to tell you right now, that game looks like shit, Return to Moria. I don't know why some people were excited by it.
You just don't understand, John.
I don't care. I don't care about Lord of the Rings, but
this is the age of Middle Earth where after the Lord of the Rings movies take place that right? Listen to this. Did you watch Rings of Power?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm going to summarize all this. You asked, so I have to tell you. If you watch Rings of the Power, think of those as the prequels, right? That's before all the movies happened, right? That's when they go to Moria. It's thriving. They're discovering all the ore and the mithril. It's awesome time. Lord of the Rings, it all kind of went to shit, right? And that's when the Balrogs live in there. It's taken over by orcs and goblins, and it's a shit show. Nobody goes in. You know when you die. Now, after the ring happened, the land is peaceful. This is where this game takes place. Return to Moria. The dwarfs are going back to Moria to return it to its original glory. It makes perfect sense. This sounds like a great, fantastic game.
Now, but I'm talking about the game. Okay, I understand.
The storyline.
This sets up an interesting storyline you want to see, but you're not talking about the storyline or the game itself. I'm talking about the game looks like something from 2003. That's what I'm saying.
Well, you get too stuck in your ways with graphics and whatnot. I'm just here for the fun.
When that game popped up during the keynote, I was like, oh, this looks like some mobile game, or this looks like some remaster of some old game. And then it was like Return to Moria. I was like, what the hell? Not impressed.
I mean,
are you going to get? So the question really is, I don't want to dump on Lord of the Rings. Are you
Luna?
You getting there to another console, or
Avatar? I think comes out like what, December-ish time frame. The game. I
think it's December.
So I'll be blunt. If there's no Switch, what we just talked about, December comes, I will 100% buy a Luna and play Avatar. Now, if Return to Moria,
you subscribe to Luna.
You subscribe. Well, I'd buy the controller because I want to use I'll probably wait for Prime Day or Black Friday, and if they have a great deal, I'll just pick up the controller for whatever. But yeah, I will buy this. I mean, you can play on the iPad. I can play on anything. Okay. So that was always my thing, right? Is I need a handheld device, but I could sit in my recliner with the iPad on the arm of my chair and my controller and play.
Yeah.
So
you can get one of those like breakfast in bed trays.
Yeah.
All right. You still got to play Hogwarts Legacy too. So if you're going to get a Luna or whatever, you might as well get Hogwarts. I don't
know if I'm going to play Hogwarts.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm going to Luna.
It was a good game. It's forgettable.
Yeah.
Good. Did you play? You played Phoenix Rising, right? Because
yeah. Immortals.
Because like it was a good game. And it was like, wow. At the time, I remember thinking like this really improves on Breath of the Wild in every way, and it was like looked really good. And then I finished playing it, and I don't even think about it. I couldn't tell you the name of my character. I couldn't tell you any of the story.
The point of the. I agree, but it was
Right.
fun while I played it.
That's what Hogwarts Legacy is. It's like it's good and whatever, and then you're done. You're like, okay, I totally forgot that it existed. Okay, we got some questions from the audience. Skinny Matt confirmed he is skinny. Please talk me out of buying Diablo 4 due to FOMO. I own Diablo 3, but never really played it much.
Well, I'm not going to talk to you about it, Skinny Matt. I'm going to say go buy Diablo 4 and then tell me how it is, because I love Diablo. I'll tell you what, if Diablo's on Luna, I probably would have bought it by now.
Yeah, I agree. I did resist the FOMO. I never did buy this game, but it is on my PlayStation wish list. I think eventually someday I will have nothing else to do and I'm going to play Diablo 4. I just don't want to get into one of these big games. And as much as you and I enjoyed Diablo 3, I enjoyed more playing with you than really the game. The game is, if you really think of Diablo, it is just
It's literally like your zombie mode just playing a video game.
It's not the best video game, but you just grind and you get levels and you get new armor and then you play again and you do the same things over a million times. Whatever. So if you didn't play Diablo 3, just play Diablo 3, Skinny Matt. Give it a couple hours, play through it, and then see. If you don't like Diablo 3, you're not going to like Diablo 4. All right, Tim. Tim has an interesting quandary. Probably hasn't happened yet for you, but if Hentai Girls comes across your email from Nintendo saying one of your kids bought this game on their account, what would you do? This actually happened. Tim's son, Sammy, bought Hentai Girls, which was a game that had been featured or, newly released on the eShop. Here's a description of it. Hand-drawn hentai art, relaxing music track. I love how that's a feature. Simple gameplay mechanics. Again, love that that's a feature. Unique premise. Do you know what this is, Drew? I know you're looking at it right now because I can see the colors on your face change. This is a sliding puzzle game.
Oh, is it?
And you just rearrange tiles to put the girl into the scene. In the beginning of the game, they're wearing bathing suits, and it's a little flirty, but it's still pretty tame.
I'd say it's more than a little.
Well, yeah, but over time, the girls get more and more naked.
Hey, it's on sale for $2. I hope we paid that and not $20 regular price.
You're looking for a game, man. I told you. What would you do if Evan bought this on his account?
It is a category on Pornhub.com, so.
It is. Probably on Twitch soon. No, but really, if you found out Evan bought this, what would be your fatherly actions?
I mean, maybe let's puzzle games. I'm not there yet. It's hard for me to say.
Nowhere in the description does it actually say it's a sliding puzzle game. Maybe the pictures do, I guess.
Don't Google that, by the way.
Or Google it if you want to. I'm not telling anybody not to Google hentai.
I did. No regrets.
I'm sure Jesse and Mecca have Googled that a few times.
Yeah. This is a really tough but great question, Tim. We're not the Nintendo dads. We're dads after dark, which is a combo. But I'm not here to give you advice about this. Just good for Sammy. I mean, he's getting older. This is the step to manhood. And I'd say, ask him if he needs anything.
90% off.
You gotta. I hope he paid $2.
Which is the price and the concept of the game. Wow. Does it show It does not show that it's a sliding puzzle game. All of the screenshots for the game are just pictures of the girls. And it doesn't say, and it actually in the description says, the most tempting puzzle game experience Nintendo Switch has to offer.
So how did you know it's a sliding puzzle game?
Because I went to a Let's Play of it on YouTube before the show, and it's really going to show up in my recommended stuff later when I'm watching YouTube with Michelle. But I'll have to explain to her this was show research. You
can blame me.
I do have that other game that was like a shooter where you shoot like enemies until the girl's clothes come off.
That.
And my brother-in-law found it while he was scrolling through my game list.
Did he play it?
Like, no, thank God. But
Do
yeah,
they
he
take
saw
their
it.
clothes off when you solve the puzzle?
Well, when you shoot,
No, I mean
the
in this
enemies.
one.
Oh, in this one, no. I think when you do the puzzle, you do the puzzle. I think the puzzles progressively have more nudity.
I try to be honest. I'm very disappointed in this game.
Because it's a sliding puzzle, or
Watching the
because
Let's Play.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
I mean, wow, this person's good.
All right, Tim. Well, I mean, he's not the father of the year here, Drew, but I would talk to my son. Maybe like say, "Hey, how's Hentai Girls doing?" Just so he knows.
How's it going?
Just so he knows that I know he bought that. Maybe I wouldn't talk about it. It's just a video game. I mean, it's not like, he's not taking like upskirt pictures in school or something like that. So it's a video game, but I would let my son know that I know he bought that. That should be a good enough detriment for him not to buy anything else. So if you want to be hands off but still have a firm hand, I would say let him know offhand that you know he bought that.
A lot of hands on.
And if he is playing that in his room, knock on the door.
Fair enough.
That's advice I give my wife all the time. Don't walk into Cedric's room. Knock. Let him answer it.
Yeah. Teenage boys. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Danger. Drew, we have a contest to run.
We do. It's long. It's late. It's really late. It's 10:30. You gotta wake up at 4. Let's get this done.
I'm feeling the excitement. This is energy like you have never seen before, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
This is what you are here for.
Let's do it.
Judging. Let's get into it. We are going to judge 3. Okay. We're going to judge 3 categories. We're going to start off with our video category, Dumb Ways to Die. And then our 2 photo categories, Dads After Dark and Life is Good. Drew, we went through the videos before the show because it would take too long to go through videos on the show.
Sure.
And we ended up with a top 3.
We did.
Do we want to announce what those top 3 are right now?
Yeah, let's do it. Go for it.
Okay. It is Coos Falls in the Mud.
Looks like shit. He's running away from some bad guys and just falls in a pile of shit and dies.
Good. I like that. I'll title it. You describe it.
Okay.
Sean's Burning Bigfoot.
He's on this 4-wheel car thing. It catches on fire. It disintegrates right in front of him.
What does it do?
Incinerates. It's kind of like a combination. It kind of like de-assembles and then incinerates.
It deassembles?
Deassembles.
You keep trying to correct it and you keep getting worse.
And then he's just standing on, what do you call it, the little controllers? I think it's
the control stick or
he's
something.
He's literally, his entire car just poofs, and he's just standing there left on the controller, and he turns the camera, and then there's a goblin that just one hits him dead. Yeah, that's that one. That's Sean's.
And the last one is The Strategery's Failed Swan Dive.
I love this one. So he's jumps off like a mountain cliff. He's fallen down. He sees a big puddle of water, so he hold R to accelerate into the water. And then when he lands in the water, it was one of those that you can actually like walk in the water. It's not swimmable. So it's like, like 1 foot deep, and it's just bam, instant death.
Pancakes right in.
Pancakes. Yeah.
All 3 of these videos are great. I don't know how we're going to pick a winner. I don't know if we'll agree on a winner. We'll just argue it. But those are the 3. Before we announce a winner there, because we don't know, we're going to go through. Let's go through the Dads After Dark category.
Sure.
We are looking through a PDF file that Drew has put together for us.
And
I missed you fairly quickly. It doesn't make for great audio, but let's look at the Ninformant. We got 3 pictures from the Ninformant. I see boobs. He made a female character with boobs, which are the hot air balloons.
I do love. Well, he put the little. What do you call the little lights? The little as nipples.
The gloom. The gloom flowers.
He put them as little nipples popping up. But he also gave the badge a little like happy trail of hair.
It's a runway. It's an airstrip.
Well done there.
Very
I like
creative.
this one. Very creative.
Well done.
There were some videos and stuff in here that we couldn't count of him blowing his load on this, but it was pictures only.
We got Darth Platypus, who has a section of pictures. There's a Goron who's saying, he says face smashing is Goron tradition, which is pretty good. And then we got Pura, who is, if we got to do like hotties of the year, Pura is my number one. I'll give that spoiler right
I need
now.
more cleavage.
By the way, wear your clothes because he's naked. We also have he has created a dong. I'm sure he's not the first. I'm sure he's not the last.
Yep, nice looking penis there.
What is that? It's a log.
I don't know what's on top of the log. Another log?
Yeah, it looks like a smaller log or a rock. It's hard to tell. And then the fans are balls. So very good. Nice. I like it. Zablanc, I'm not eligible, but I came up through the floor in Goron City, and I was literally it looked like I'm going down on one of the Gorons who's sitting cross-legged.
What's wrong with that?
Fantastic. And Proving Grounds Smash is the name of a shrine.
That would be great.
You can't make this stuff up, folks.
You can't.
Okay. Hoots. What does Hoots have?
He's eating some mushrooms.
It looks like a dick, though.
It should be he's eating dick or he's getting high on mushrooms. I'm not
he's
sure which way he's going with it, but maybe it's both. And then the second one was he built a bridge. Is something about my bridge is bigger than yours. I forget. I didn't include all the verbiage with every one of them because it would have took too much effort.
You know what? The picture has to stand on its own.
Agreed. Yep.
Hambone, friend of the show. He's got Penn, he was like a journalist, would you say, reporter, the big duck, goose, pelican guy.
Mm-hmm.
There you are, partner. Have you seen all the men in underpants at the stable? And then he's got the man in underpants.
I had a picture for that one. I don't know where it went. I thought I posted it.
Well, the man's sitting there in underpants, and he goes, "I'm beat."
Yeah, and I had another one there. I was standing there naked next to him, but anyways.
Bob Cousy, he is on top of a pine tree.
But it's more than that.
He's got the top of the pine tree, and Link is like,
how do you?
He's positioned in a way I feel like the developers knew what they were doing.
I agree with that. It's like he's on a pole dancing.
One of our great friends of the show, Drew. Our survey work has never felt more adventurous than in our underpants.
Isn't that the truth?
I love that in Tears of the Kingdom. Just the whole underpants storyline.
I know, that was great.
Pretty damn funny. Max Power has a selfie of himself. It looks like he's touching a dong.
It does look like that.
Yeah.
Well placed.
No shirt. Link is shirtless. Well done. Like well situated too. All right. We got to pick 3 favorites here. I gotta say, Informant.
Have to pick 3.
Well, let's start with 3. It just makes it easier to haggle. If we can't find 3, then we can't find 3. But an Informant's got to be on the list, right?
Got to be on the list. I mean, he went out of his way and made a female person.
Yeah, great effort. Funny. I love the nipples.
What's the mouth?
It looks like the goop. I'm not sure how it gets there. It's just the goop.
What does it
something is
come from?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Okay.
Take a look around. Obviously, I'm not eligible. You're not eligible. But what else would you throw on the list? Who's a contender? It's tough competition.
I gotta be honest. I think an Informant won this one.
I am prepared to give an Informant the win on this one as well.
I think that's the winner.
All right.
Okay.
You've already got it. You've got Informant.
The king of dirtiness.
It's just so good. It's hard to top.
I mean, the nipples and the little patch down there is what did it over for me.
All right. Let's look at the Life is Good category.
Oh, and there's quite a few.
And this one was the most open, I think, of all the categories, too. It really could be anything.
Yes.
Bob Cousy. Oh, you put description on this one.
I loved this one. I tried to for some of them.
What do we got here?
So Trucy has two pictures here, and he wrote the top photo is from
There's
Breath of the Wild. Yeah, well, yes. The top photo is from Breath of the Wild. The first picture I ever took on my Switch. I love that. March 3rd, 2017. The bottom photo is from Tears of the Kingdom. He has them both.
Oh, wow.
It's both from the Great Plateau overlooking Hyrule. And it's the same exact, I don't know how he did this. It's in the same exact spot of, and it's cool. It's in the two different games. One is the Breath of the Wild, one's Tears of the Kingdom, but it's the same spot overlooking Hyrule. And it looks, identical.
That rock is moved over a little bit, and I don't know why.
Somebody moved the rock. Do you think there's more detail?
Yeah, honestly, the first photo looks, but it's hard to tell. We know Tears of the Kingdom is a better looking game. Maybe this screenshot,
Well, if you look at the ground that he's standing on, Tears of the Kingdom looks more detailed.
Yes, exactly. But we know that. Oh wait, which one?
The bottom is Tears.
The top one is Breath of the Wild.
The bottom one's Tears. I think the bottom one, the ground looks a little bit more detailed with the grass and the rock.
Yeah, but I mean, it just depends on.
I don't know. I love this picture. I think this is super cool, super clever. Life is good. It came back to the original spot it all started.
Okay. Yeah, no, I do like it. And he's got the picture with the Link's Awakening head, which is pretty hilarious.
We did not know was real at the time.
Yeah. There's a way to get it in the game. I haven't looked it up, but I
have it. I think I got it from an amiibo.
Yeah, you can get it from an amiibo, and you can get it in the game. All right, we got Drew here. I found the trolls from Frozen, and it looks like whatever those trolls are named in Frozen 2.
All the little rots. Yeah, when all the rots are just sitting there in a big pile.
Yeah. Did you find that where?
I don't know. I was just walking across somewhere, and I found this. I said, it looks like the trolls.
It seems familiar, but I can't tell you
I forget where it was.
Yeah. And then what's the second picture? Wait, I can't read it. Wait. This isn't all of the plushes?
Plushies. Yeah, it's like the plushie quest. So you have to put all the plushies back in the cart. It was a quest.
I think I remember that one. Yeah, I think I remember that one. I think. Sweet. Life is good when you're messing with plushies.
That's it.
Darth Platypus has 6 pictures. We've got he made the tomato pizza, which I haven't made yet, but you can make a pizza in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty sweet. He's got some scenic shots near, I think that's the Rito dungeon.
Labyrinth?
Yeah. He's got 2 swords connected to one another. Life is indeed good. He's got one riding a elk. He's got one riding a bear. And then he's got a ship with a big hook on it and 2 sails, which I don't have the context for, but pretty cool. What would you say your favorite
of
picture
that one?
Here
is? I like the riding of the bear, and I think they tried to. I think he tried to check it into the stable, and obviously they say no.
I think that's the quest where the guy says, "I want you to ride something other than a horse," right? And then you come back in, and he's like, "Holy shit!"
Yep, I like that. That one's a cool photo.
Cool, very good, Darth. Max Power. I hadn't seen this picture. This one I hadn't seen. Standing in front of a pyramid of treasure chests that he glued together with some other gems.
Tons of rupees and sapphires and ambers all surrounded around it.
Yeah, like very much, like the end of Pirates of the Caribbean when you see Captain Jack, like the ride, and he's on top of like the pile of gold and all that.
Yeah, I was thinking more like 1990 MTV music video.
Yeah, exactly. Love
Good one. Yep.
Hoots that's a little spoilery. I don't think it really is a spoiler. He's got a fight going on with Phantom Ganon. Off we go, Link to the Pillar of Light, which when I think back to memories of Tears of the Kingdom, right, it's these little moments of we're going to go on an adventure. And in this game, there's a lot of adventuring with the people. So, in Breath of the Wild, you would get to the Divine Beast, and then the guy would show up there, and he'd be like, "Oh, let me help you get on the Divine Beast," and then that was it. In this game, you kind of adventure with that person for quite a bit, and then you go to the labyrinth, and then you do it or whatever. So it's just cool that me and Prince Sidon are going to go adventure together. We got a picture of Link wearing what mask is that?
I forget which one that is. Like a bird mask.
Yeah. Flying over the skies. He's got a really cool picture of a battle. Where is that? It looks like one of the boss battles. I think is that the water boss battle with that big beast that you have to hit with
it is.
water?
You can see the little guy up top jumping into it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a really cool picture. I like that picture.
Me too.
Good, well timed. All right. Ibicel. This, Drew, I'll never forget that in the first days of Tears of the Kingdom, you mentioned this, maybe not this specific one.
Yep.
But we had to go through the hoops like Superman 64.
Yep.
And I didn't find that until I was 90 hours into the game. And then I didn't find the other few until I was trying to finish up all the shrines.
Yep. But the first one was the hardest. Yep.
This captures the fun of Tears of the Kingdom right here.
It does. It really does.
He's at the starting ring of one of these contests, ready to jump down. So much fun flying through the sky.
Very cool.
I think Ibicel got a later start into the game too, so I'm excited for it. Sean Abbott has him in front of his house that we all learned we can build these very elaborate houses.
Mm-hmm.
He says Animal Crossing TOTK style. And then one of the more memorable, iconic cutscenes in Nintendo history, getting the Master Sword in Tears of the Kingdom. Is very cool.
Very.
The Strategery has a similar shot to Kuzi, but like his own, just a scenic shot of the mountains. Very pretty. Okay, Solo Something has 13 pictures, and we can't go through them all. So which ones pop out at you?
I like the one in the second row in the middle. What's that? The armor called the D-tree or what's it? Something.
Is that the Fierce Deity?
Oh, the Fierce one, yeah. I like that picture's cool.
I need to get that. Yeah, it's a cool picture.
I like the one with the dragons. I love the dragons in this game. Here's a couple with the dragons.
Oh, yeah.
Also cool, the one at the very top with the Guardian.
Yeah, I never saw the Guardian in this game.
There's one or two Guardians in the game, yeah, that I found.
That's totally cool.
Well,
I like the picture in the bottom, really the bottom and the three on the left. They're all scenic shots. One's on that island town, I presume.
Yep.
But they all have like kind of sunrises. You can tell Solo's into the sunrise. Very cool. Very good shots. I think the Fierce Deity is the cool shot here.
I think so too.
Wish I had it. Hambone just got blown. Life is good. This is the fairy. One of the animations that the fairy upgrades your armor is she blows on you.
Yes.
This is fantastic. Life is indeed good.
Love it.
The fairy's bra size is like 10xz.
Oh, I would literally just like titty fuck with my whole body. Like just my whole body would just weasel in there and just with a little worm.
And the fairy seems like she would really enjoy it too.
I know. I think she's
dying for it. Yeah.
Agreed.
All right, Jesse. Jesse's got
the first one, he was commenting on the shadows in this game and how well the lighting of the moons were, and which is true. I thought that was very cool. The second one,
when you just stand there and a shadow goes across the sun, it's kind of wild.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. I agree.
And then that is a fight with one of the what are those guys called? They're pretty big dudes.
I forget their names too.
They're like gigantic bokoblins.
Yes, the fat ones.
Gigacoblin. I don't know if life is good right there.
I agree. Seems
life
miserable, actually. Yeah, life is bad.
The opposite. He's got a lot of lights on his map too. He's loaded for places to go.
Oh yeah, must have been early on.
Zablanc is here. I took a screenshot of Sticky Frog.
Yes.
Which at the time I was thinking, oh my God, this is going to help me climb wet walls. But I never really made a recipe with the Sticky Frog. I think there's a quest where you need one. But then they did have the armor with the sticky stuff. So.
Oh, did you have that armor, John? Because I did.
I have the armor, the full armor for the sticky wall climb.
Oh, that is a good armor to have.
Yeah. I can't even make out what my other picture is.
You have, that was when you experimented with the mine tart sword.
Oh, my minecart sword. That's right.
Also, the first thing you fused.
Yeah, you can make a freaking
hearts.
sword with a minecart on it.
That's right.
I mean, best game of all time. All right. Who do we got? Who are winners? I mean, who is our contenders?
For this one,
I got to put Hambone on the list.
I love Hambone.
It's a little bit after dark, and I don't know if that'll hold it against it.
I don't know either, because Life is Good.
Yeah, I wanted to blend, but it does fit Life is Good.
I kind of like Matt's powers because it's like I'm a gangster with all those chests and gems.
I do like that one. That is creative. I do like that.
And then I really like Koozies. I really like that he kind of went back to that original spot and recaptured that picture, which was everything.
I do. I
Breath
really
of the Wild.
I agree with you. I like that picture on its own is like, okay, that's a cool, majestic shot.
But he legit attached them together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like it. What else? Any other contenders?
Those are my three favorite if I had to pick three.
I'm just looking through real quick.
Zelda is a pretty cool shot too at the start because it kind of introduces like the Star Island concept, but
yeah,
I think there's a lot of good ones here.
I like Hoots' shot with the boss, but I don't know if it matches the category. I think it's just a really cool shot though.
Which one?
The one with the boss kind of coming out of the ground.
Oh.
But yeah, like I really like that shot. And Sean Abbott with the sword as well.
But is it Life is Good? I mean, it is.
It does fit the category, but yeah, I wish if it was a video category, it'd be even better. But yeah, no, I know. It's also part of a cutscene.
True.
So
you really create it.
Right, exactly. So I kind of like Solo's Guardian picture as well. And I think I'm kind of jealous that he found the Guardian. That's the one I would pick there. But we got to pick a winner. It's going to go to John. No, I'm kidding. Hambone. Hambone's is still... That's a tough pick. Max Power.
I have my winner of the three.
If I had to choose...
Yes.
I would pick Max Power. What is your pick?
Yeah, I mean, I'm between Max Power and Koozie just because I think that it's a cool thing what Koozie did. But I did look back at the category. The category was Life is Good.
Yeah.
And I think what better describes Life is Good as literally a pyramid of treasure chests.
Okay. I thought you were going to say then a blowjob.
with just gems scattered around. I think I'm voting Matt's Power.
Yeah, and it's so hard because I love Bob Cousy's picture sequence.
Me too.
But I love that Mac. I haven't seen anybody else put a picture of mounds of chests next to each other. I love it. All right, Max Power is a winner.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to video. We've got Coos falling in the mud. Sean's burning Bigfoot. The Strategery's failed swan dive. I'm gonna go ahead, Drew, and say I have a clear winner.
Okay.
In my head.
I have one as well, but I think we might be on different playing fields.
Okay, so let's count to three and say it on three. When I'm gonna go 1, 2, and then say it.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Just say the name of the person who wins.
Okay.
1, 2, Sean.
Just Strategery.
What did you say?
The Strategery's swan dive.
I mean, first of all, they're all amazing. I choose Sean because there's so many elements to the comedy, and the Brits do comedy right. The fact that his vehicle gets set on fire, which wasn't intentional, and he's still driving it, and then it completely dissolves, and all is left is with the tires, and he's still on the stick. Like, it's not like he fell off.
That part I liked, yeah.
And he's kind of sitting there for a few seconds, and then I think he gets off, and he turns around, and there's just some guy there, and he's just like, thunk, and he dies. The comedy timing is gold on it, and you can't even That is not fake. That is real.
Yeah, no,
and
you're right.
spectacular.
All right, I'll give it to Sean. You've
But I love
convinced
all
me.
three.
You convinced me.
Do you want to fight for the strategery,
I mean,
or
no, it was the thing is like the first time I watched it, I'm like, what's gonna happen here? He's gonna fall to his death. Okay, whatever. But then as I watched, it's like, oh, he's just gonna dive into the water. Like that's fine. And then it was like, it made you like, why'd he die? Oh, that wasn't water. But
it's great.
It sucks, but it's great. But I think you're right. Sean has a little bit more going on in the thing that added to the comedy of it and made it
right.
Like almost, I think with the swan dive one, it was you kind of could see something coming with a fall. Sean's, I had no idea what was going to happen until the end of the video. It was like kept you on the edge of the seat type thing. What's going to happen? What's going to happen?
Right. You're almost laughing about it, and then it's like bonk. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. All right. Let me get all of those who didn't win together, and why don't you just talk to the audience for a little bit about whatever the heck you want while I do this.
Whatever I want. I already talked about my new plushies I got. If you didn't see for Father's Day, my son Evan, 6 years old, God bless him, thinks I'm a 56-year-old professional golfer drunk. You got to go into our Dads After Dark Discord and read the little pamphlet thing that he filled out about me on Father's Day. You got to read it. That's about it for that. So I'm going to recap the 3 winners as John does the lottery, right? So Dumb Ways to Die, the winner of $10 eShop credit. Are we still giving them the option, John? Or are we going with eShop? Are we going to let Sean cheat his way into like an Xbox Pass $10 credit here?
For the most part, I'm just giving Switch credit. It's just, it takes too long to like write everybody.
All right. So Sean,
whatever.
$10 eShop. Yeah. The Dads After Dark category for the female big boob, whatever he made, the informant, you're the winner. And the last category, Life is Good. The winner is Matt's Power for his pyramid of treasure chests and gems.
Sounds good to me.
Are you ready for the lottery for the last $10 winner?
Yep. Let me bring up my number generator. So there are 7 eligible people in the lotto.
Yep. Because those 3 we had to remove, so you guys are not eligible to win again.
Yep. And Jesse, you, and I are not eligible as well. And so there's 7 people, and we got Darth Platypus, Hoots, Hambone, Coos, Ibicel, The Strategery, and Solo. I'm sorry. Did we do the video? Let me just check the quick and make
sure there was nobody else on the videos.
Yeah, because we weren't reviewing that here. I don't remember anybody else entering in anything. I think it's all the same names, it looks like. Hoots, Coos. Yeah, I don't think there's anybody else. So I think we still have everybody captured.
It was mostly the same people.
We did get one entry, but it wasn't somebody's personal video. So I'm not going to count that as an entry.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're still good. All right.
Actually, no. Wait, hold on a second. Skinny Matt. You got to include Skinny Matt for a video.
What if Skinny Matt wins? That'd be amazing.
That would be last minute. We double checked.
All right. Okay, I'm entering in a number generator 1 through 8. I'm going to hit the button 10 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And so the order that we said your names is your number. And the winning number is 4. Coos.
Coos man himself.
You are the winner. I almost feel good about that because Coos did really good in 2 different categories.
That's true.
He was top 3 in Life is Good and Dumb Ways to Die. So yeah, I think that's a good random winner. Coos wins again. Not again. He doesn't usually win that much. Actually, he actually
doesn't win that much.
He's actually complained to us for not having victories.
Well, he comes on a lot. It feels like we talk about Coos a lot, but he actually doesn't win a lot. But yeah, thank you everyone for playing this mayhem. Like John said, we already have our next one picked out, and we'll announce it in roughly either 2 weeks or 1 week, depending on how I feel about next week and if we want to record or not, John.
We'll do 2 weeks. I don't want to rush these things.
Yeah,
they take a lot of mental energy.
They do. We'll announce it in 2 weeks. Hopefully, we plan when it's not as complicated as this one.
Yeah.
But John, what do we have coming up the next couple of weeks?
We got a whole lot coming up. June 22nd, we have Dr. Fetus's Mean Meat Machine. That is a puzzle version of Super Meat Boy.
Is that the same people? Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, same people.
Okay. So, yeah.
Final Fantasy 16 comes out for PlayStation and PC on June 22nd as well. It's a big one. I might play that one day one. I haven't figured it out yet.
No, you won't.
June 23rd, Sonic Origins Plus. That is not the new game they just announced, but it is an expanded version of Sonic Origins. On June 27th, we get Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life, and we get the Little to the Left Cupboards and Drawers DLC. On June 30th, we get Crime O'Clock, which was a game that was featured in, I think, the Indie World. It was featured in Indie World. Yeah, the last Indie World. Crime O'Clock. It looked interesting. We also get Ghost Trick Phantom Detective HD Remaster. This has a demo too. It is a Square game. It is a remaster of an old game, and it is Square on your screen. It looks like you're playing on an emulator. And then Master Detective Archives Raincode. I know a lot of people are excited about that one. That's all June 30th. And the eventual 2023 Game of the Year, Everybody 1-2 Switch. This is going to be the sensation that sells Switches.
Yes.
It is the Starfield of party games. It's going to be huge, Drew.
This is why we need to figure out there's going to be a direct before then. I mean, we don't even know what this game is. We know nothing about it.
I have a suspicion that Nintendo doesn't think it's going to be very good.
They might just drop a trailer like NetSuite.
Yeah. We'll get something.
What did at least a trailer NetSuite or this week?
If they thought this was the worst game imaginable, they would just kill it. All right, they wouldn't put it out there and let people buy it and hate it, right? You don't want to piss off your audience. It's $30, but still.
But they'll sell 1 million copies if they put it out.
I mean, I'm going to buy it.
Me too.
But I might play it for a day.
Why not? Why not make 30 mil?
And it's physical too, right? Is it physical or just digital? It might be digital only.
This sounds like a digital purchase.
Oh, you're right. It's probably digital only.
Who knows?
All right. That's it. There's a lot of games coming out.
It's way past my bedtime, John.
You look done. Are you working tomorrow?
4 a.m. 5 hours from now.
I can almost see your nipples. You're stretching your shirt out too much, and I really don't want to see.
Actually, I have a golf tournament at 9:30 tomorrow.
You have a golf tournament at what, 9:30? At work?
No, it's not work. I'm going to work from 5 a.m. to like 8:30.
That's so bizarre. So bizarre. All right, Drew. Say goodnight to the dads. Happy Father's Day, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
The Dads After Dark show is part of the Nintendo Dads family of podcasts. You can subscribe to us anywhere podcasts are available, including Google, Overcast, Spotify, and Stitcher. And if you're using Apple Podcasts, don't forget to leave us a 5-star review. Pretty please. Be sure to join us on the Nintendo Dads Discord in our Dads After Dark channels for some naughty After Dark talk. Leave us a voicemail with Anchor and we'll play it on our next show. Check our podcast description for the link. Follow us on Twitter and now TikTok at @NDadsAfterDark or email us at dadsafterdarkshow@gmail.com. And a big thank you to Family Jewels for our show's music. That's all for tonight. Good night, Dads. Sweet dreams.